Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, buzz everybody. It's Blake. It's Monday. It's fucking hot. I had to move everything inside cuz it's like 100 degrees in my fancy studio, which is actually a garage. So we moved everything inside. We had some audio issues. I thought it was me. It was I think everything's going to be okay. And now we just get to talk about Magic Powder. I'm so excited. This is one of the best fantasy comics on Kickstarter. It's so fun. It's so wild. And with me tonight, I've got returning guest Jeff Schiller, who is the mind behind the powder, the Magic Powder, the comic, not the other stuff. I'm so stoked to bring him back on because he's doing a new spin-off, The Elf with No Name. What's up, baby? How you doing, Jeff? Look at
What's
that
up,
glorious
everybody?
hat.
Yeah, I had to get the hat on. It's hard with the headset, but I think I got it going for a second here. So a little preseason tip of the hat there. But yeah, man, I'm excited about the Elf with No Name. I'm excited to be on the show, and it's been a while. So how you doing?
I'm good, man. Where did you get that monstrosity? Like,
this thing is from a company called Noggin Boss, and they just got that NFL thing. So if you watched any of the Monday Night Footballs with Eli and Peyton last year, they rocked this. So Eli had one of these last year, and I guess they got the NFL license eventually, and so I grabbed me one as fast as I could, man.
No, I thought it was like a special. So it's not New Era. It's somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, Noggin Boss, Noggin.
I may have to hunt down a Chiefs.
You should,
not
man.
for me, for my dad. I know my dad would get a kick out of it.
I think you get a good deal if you get two. So if you both get one, then you get a better deal anyway.
Oh well, then I gotta match with my old man. That's another guaranteed Super Bowl win, right?
No, man, that's the thing. So it's like, yeah, it's awesome. So I'm excited. The only one I guess they don't have might be the Dallas Cowboys, because someone I know was looking at that and they didn't have it at the time. So if you're a Cowboys fan, that sucks, but at least you got King of the Hill. But
they're used to shit sucking as a Cowboys fan, right?
Yeah, that's why I wear the King of the Hill hat with the Giants, the King of the Hill shirt with the Giants hat, because since the King of the Hill came out, Cowboys have not won any Super Bowls since the debut. So that's my thing. I love it.
Really? I was not aware. So is it like a conspiracy? Like,
I mean, I just put it out there. I don't think most people know this yet. But it's definitely the Hank Hill jinx, man. No doubt about it. It's the real thing. The curse of Hank Hill.
That propane game is filthy.
Yeah, exactly, man. Sweet Lady Propane has screwed the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, which I love. Thank God. Yeah, I can't stand the Cowboys, so it's a good thing, man. And that's the thing. I love King of the Hill. He loves the Cowboys so much, but he was born in Yankee Stadium, so I give him. It's a whole thing.
Well, yeah, man. I'm really stoked to have you back on the show, and I'm stoked. I like that we're still talking Magic Powder, but we're talking something new. This Elf with No Name. You're in. I always think it's a good sign when you enter spinoff territory, right? Like shit's got to be going pretty good to get into spinoff territory.
I mean, I was feeling good about it. I've wanted to do the Elf with No Name for a long time, at least since the first Magic Powder. I don't know if I knew I wanted to do before Magic Powder 1, but I've had this plan for a while. Then it was just a matter of having enough money, finding the right artist, stuff like that, getting the budget together. And then, Jeff Fulsham, he was on, Twitter just talking and stuff. I don't know exactly what he said, but something he was looking for something to do or something like that. And he had posted some of his stuff, which is like Osirian Tales, which is already kind of like a fantasy Western, but it's a lot different than Magic Powder. So I knew he could have a style that can do fantasy and stuff like that. And yeah, I just hit him up and he was excited about it. I was excited about it. And, we put that first, I had the script already for him and stuff like that. And he put it together fast. He does his art faster than any artist I've really worked. Like Samuel, as far as covers go, he's a real fast cover artist. But as far as interiors go, Jeff gets it done fast, man. It's a matter of what kind of schedule he had open and stuff like that. but he knocked it out. Like, so the whole issue's already done. It's just a matter of printing and stuff like that now, and getting to the end of this. Yeah, so like we're done with it. Yeah, and nowadays I don't like to launch until something's done. Like even Magic Powder 5 will be done before I launch the next tick. Like that's how I do it now.
Okay.
It's just better for printing and shipping, fulfillment like that. I like to get it to people quicker. But yeah, as far as like feeling good about it, like spit offs and stuff like that, I was a little worried that people might not want it, but so far so good. Like we have about half of what we had on issue 4. So that's I mean, I'm not expecting issue 1 to be banging out like Magic Powder. Plus, I don't think Westerns have the same appeal as like the crime story does. So I'm not expecting as many people. But I think the way I'm going to tell this story is going to be so much different than Magic Powder that it'll draw people in. Because like with Magic Powder, it's kind of like focused on all the characters and stuff like that. And the Elf with No Name obviously has a main character, so it'll be a little different.
Nice. So it's going to be a little more intimate, like more focused on this new character.
Yeah, and also like just his journey, because like it's gonna also kind of have I would say almost like a Final Fantasy, like old school RPG aspect, where it's like he's putting a party together and stuff like that, maybe the party and things like that. So there's gonna be a group aspect to it and stuff. So he's not just gonna be the main only focus, but he will be the main focus and stuff like that, and just his journey, almost kind of even like if you ever read Berserk, kind of how like Guts' journey, eventually he starts putting a little crew together and stuff. And stuff. So just kind of something like that, I like. I like having those kind of group stories. I've been watching Lost a lot lately, just like that whole group dynamic and stuff. Because like Magic Powder, it's a lot of characters, but it's also a lot of groups that are separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this it'll be a lot more, together like a team almost. Like there's no real team effort in those yet.
Nice. Well, you've already said a couple. You're comparing it to Berserk and comparing it to Final Fantasy. That's king shit in my book, man. Like that already sounds like right up my alley. And I knew it was gonna be, I was gonna be into it anyway, just because I love this world you've made, and I'm excited to see you explore more of it and to switch it up, right? And it was different. Like I was kind of wondering when I found out, Danielle wouldn't be on it, because we've all fallen in love with Danielle's art. It's impossible not to, right?
Oh, yeah. If he had like unlimited time, I would just have him do so much stuff. It'd be crazy. But yeah, exactly.
But no, these pages look really good. Like, and we'll bring up the Kickstarter page shortly so people can get a look at it. But you've been sharing them on social media and stuff too, and so like it was very quick to find out that like fans and the fans of that pure Magic Powder, right? That uncut Magic Powder.
And that's like you're gonna get. That's exactly what it is too. Because like when you see the Red Desert and stuff like that, that's literally from years and years of fairies traversing those lands. So like that wasn't even a desert originally. It was like a tropical, nice place. And like those fairies lived there so long, and the dust, just settled so long. Now it's like a desert. It's like dirt. Like so, that's just pure, like you said, uncut fairy dust straight there. The whole shore that he's coming up on. So it's a whole thing, and it's like it affects elves a little harder than it affects other animals and stuff like that and other creatures. So we'll see how that whole thing goes. But yeah, I'm excited about it. And like as you said, the art is a lot different, and like it starts off kind of in a medieval setting, so you don't really know what time it is and stuff like that, because it starts off with like the council of all the sorcerers and stuff like that, the elf sorcerers. So I think we don't really even get to the Western until like halfway into the first issue, because I wanted to set up everything right away. And so I think at first, like when I'm showing the art to people, they're like, what the heck is going on? But now that I've released more and more of like what the actual Elf with No Name looks like without his mask on, what the actual Zodiaz looks like and stuff like that. But once you get to the actual ending of the first issue, you'll be firmly in Western territory. Don't you worry about that,
Nice. So is this a one shot, or is this gonna be like a tied in mini series? Like what's your plan with this?
So far, I would say like it's number 1. It says on the Kickstarter, so it implies like it'll be an ongoing series. I'm not sure how long. It depends really on how like it goes with the audience reception, how much Jeff has time for, because he does his own stuff and stuff like that. But like, yeah, I have a lot of stuff ready for this too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. At least I would say if I could get everything I wanted out of it, it'd be about 20 issues or so, I think.
Damn. And so on top of, because your plan for Magic Powder is already massive.
Yeah. I don't have an ending in sight for Magic Powder. I would go 100 or plus issues of Magic Powder if I can. Like, I don't know if Danielle's doing 100 issues or what, but like, yeah, there's so much planned for Magic Powder itself.
You're gonna need to get like a ghostwriter to carry on.
The thing is, like,
of old age.
the writing stuff is the easy part. You know what I mean? I could get 400 issues down. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, you gotta get all the art and it takes
Gotta get it
time,
drawn,
the
yeah.
money, and everything like that. Because like, yeah, I can like write and write and write and write, but there's no even real point to have finished scripts, I don't think, because a lot of the way I write, I change things just depending on like how I feel and how I think the audience is reacting and stuff. So it's like I always have my outline set up, and I'll always have like each arc set up. Like at the end of Magic Powder's arc is, you know, issue 6. This
Okay.
first arc for the Elf with No Name is about 4 issues. So like, yeah, we'll see all that, and then like, you know, I want to, because the thing is with both of them, like the main things, you get name drop dragons in the beginning of Magic Powder 1 and in the beginning of Elf with No Name #1, but you haven't seen any dragons or fairies for that matter in either one yet. So like, you know, this is still, we're just on the prologues of all these things, like to me anyway, you know, like I don't know if people are gonna want to stick around forever, but we'll see. That's the idea, is like keep them going, like get them cliffhangers that people want to come back more for and stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, to me, like the reason I want to write comics is because I want to write ongoing series. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some one shot ideas I have. There's actually like a series I want to do, like an anthology series that's kind of like sports and other genres combined, and like each one will be a contained story. So like if things go well with the shoot job and all that kind of stuff, and I get a good tax return next year, I'm thinking I'm going to write something that has to do with like actual human beings and stuff like that for the first time. So that'll be wild.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that'll be a different thing. That won't have nothing to do with Magic Powder. That'll just be like a one shot. And there's like 3 different ones I really want to do, but I think I know which one I'm going to start with. But I don't want to spoil that here. But yeah, so, you know, it's just one of those things. I have so many freaking comic book ideas, and if people want to read them, I'll keep putting them up there. If I can fund them on Kickstarter, I'm just going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really make any money, but if I make enough to break even for the artists and everything like that, I'm happy.
Nice, man. Have you done any tabling or anything, like any con stuff, or are you just all just online presence, Kickstarter, and talking to weirdos like me?
Yeah, mostly just online. You know, a lot of my comic career started during the pandemic and everything like that. That's when I started really putting the team together with Danielle and everything. I think it was July 21 was when I first hit him up, and like August 21 is when he really started getting me pages. And then, yeah, like, you know, I didn't have a lot of money and stuff like that. I was living in like a 1-bedroom apartment with my dad for a while, and you know, wasn't getting like regular work and stuff like that. So it was hard to really get stuff going like that. And then lately I've been doing a little better, but yeah, I got to move again and like at the end of the month and stuff. So I'm just trying to work all that stuff out. And I don't really drive, so that really sets it out. Like, cause I live in Vegas, and you kind of got to drive to get around Vegas. And there's a lot of comic shops, and we even have conventions and stuff. But yeah, I gotta get to them. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely got to step that up. Yeah, so like, and as a person, like I don't have no teammate or nothing, you know what I mean? It's just me out here by myself. So, you know, it's a little bit of a pain, but eventually, yeah, I want to do some tables and stuff. Like I got a bunch of comics ready to go, like to put on the table. So we'll see. But yeah, I want to, because like I gotta, you know, after Twitter's been murdered by some jerk, you know, I gotta figure out some kind of new way to get an audience. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, shit's so weird right now. Did I read right? Is this the first podcast you did for this new Kickstarter?
Yeah, because it's like even hard to like. First of all, I like to do certain ones, right? Like I like to come on yours. I like to do the Friendly Neighborhood podcast, which I'll be doing at the end of the month.
Okay.
I usually do Keeping It Geekly, but you know, Cody wasn't. You know, he's got stuff going on with his life, so he didn't really have a lot of interview slots open.
Yeah.
And so like it didn't really work. And like I was moving to get here. Like I just moved into this place like a month ago. Now I got to move out because of the whole thing with the lease or whatever. So like yeah, it's like you know, I just haven't really had a lot of time to really even focus. So you know, it's just been a pain in the butt. But as far as promotions goes, like yeah, I've just been doing mostly email, Twitter. You know, hit up Facebook, hit up Reddit, hit up whatever, you know. But yeah, I haven't really done any podcasting because, like, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, yeah, that's gotta like, and every time I want to do, what's the Two Geeks Talking? I think with Kurt.
Yeah.
His thing's so booked out. Like, I don't plan 4 months ahead usually because, like, I'm trying to time it with my artist. So, like, if the art isn't, you know what I mean, I can't plan 4 months ahead. So, like, I can never do that. Like, so anything over 2 months is like too much for me to schedule, especially with the way my life is always jumping around like this crap. Even today we barely pulled this up, but yeah, you
that's
know,
great, man. You've like moved in a month ago. You got to move again. Like moving is like
set up all my stupid toys and stuff. Yeah, it's so ridiculous, bro. Like yeah, it's just one of those things. It's bad timing, you know. Like I moved in with my friend, and you know, he just was gonna, you know, like he told the person that owns the house that he's gonna move out in a few months with his girlfriend when she gets her house or whatever. And then the person you know that held the lease or whatever basically freaked out, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, I don't know, man. It just sucks. But so yeah, I'll probably end up moving into another apartment or something, like because I'm at a house right now, which is cool. It's way easier for shipping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, But no big deal, man. I shipped out of a dang weekly rental place for fucking 18 months, so I think I'll be fine. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, all I really care about is fulfilling the comics, making more comics, stuff like that, man. Like right now, getting work. You know what I mean? My buddy Chris has been giving me a lot of steady work. We're even actually working on like a video game that's gonna set up,
Nice.
hopefully, the Magic Powder video game and stuff like that. And just always just trying to put stuff together, but. Whew, man, it's like even like I don't know. It's just man, promotions is just harder and harder every time. I feel like, and it's like you'd think, you have the built-in audience or whatever, but you don't know like if the Magic Powder audience wants the Elf with No Name. You just hope they do. So
Yeah.
and if that's all you have to talk to, and they don't want it, then you're screwed. So like, yeah, I definitely gotta get it out there. So
Man, never, it's not boring in the life of Jeff Schiller these days.
I mean, if you watched me, I'd just be sitting on the bed over here, So like, I mean, it is pretty boring if you actually look at me. But yeah, if you pay attention to all the stuff going on
There's a lot
outside
of
of
moving parts.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
Dude, I'm the same way. I get up in the morning and sit down at the desk chair, and I do because I work from home and stuff now, doing the promotion shit. It's like,
Yeah, same here.
it's like it's fast paced, but it's like I just sit here,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
when I do the shows at night, I just sit here.
Straight up. And it's like, I try to go out. Like the other day, I had to go to my doctor's appointment, so that sucked. And I go to the doctor, and it was a waste of time, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I'm on the other side of town, and it's raining, so I might as well just stop at the bowling alley. So I went to the South Point, and they had like 5 hours of lanes taken up. So I was like, oh, now I gotta go all the way home, man. Even the times I go out to go do something, I get screwed. And so I'm like, damn, man, it's hard out here for a work from home dude.
That's your problem, man. You don't go outside. Don't.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to like mingle or any of that stuff. Straight up, yeah. That's and I don't really mind that, but at some point, you do got to try to do something.
No,
like you said, you got to find an audience somewhere. I like, damn. So yeah, like I would be fine just staying in my house for the rest of my life. Honestly, I got enough stuff to do. I could rewatch, King of the Hill 4,000 times. I don't even care. But yeah, it is what it is. Like if only the audience came to me, that would be a lot easier.
Right? Yeah, that's one good thing we have about here is because I can cook and the family can cook, so people like to come over so that we can cook them food. And now football season's nice too because we all get together for Chiefs games, so it's like that helps a little bit because I feel you, man. It just gets stuffy sometimes, and it's like I'll go outside and play with Bruce, but even now it's like it's 100 fucking degrees outside, and like even Bruce does it. Bruce is like, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah, like they think they do, and the dog will run out, and he doesn't come right back in usually.
Yeah, he's like, nope. I've been ignoring the chat. I guess I got some people to say hi to. J. Michael Miller's in the house. What's up, dude?
What up, Jay?
Cole notices that the large hat. I think everybody noticed. When I asked you for that picture and I sent it to my boss to make the promo art, he was like that's what he wants, and I was like, that's what he wants, and I was like, can you make it work? And he was like, it's not ideal, but I can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. I ain't trying to look like every other dude in just a regular black T-shirt.
Yeah. It reminded me of like the Norm Macdonald. Like, it's funny. It's a big hat.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's like it. Turd Ferguson over here. Like, yeah, that's all it is. Anyone who sees that picture is just like, what the? You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. I want that kind of reaction. Like, it's same thing with the art. You know what I mean? You want something that catches the eye. So like, even today,
you got to get that. Got to get people's attention in one way or another. It's all. Especially now, man, when you're fighting the algorithm, man, all you can do is get seen in one way or another. Ronan, what's up, dude? Good to have you. Sarah, good. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I met Sarah through this show, being on the show with Sarah actually when they were doing their first comic Kickstarter. So.
That's back when I used to do the comic clusterfuck 3-hour shows where like
those were wild.
How many people can we have on at one time?
Yeah, those are fun. You get to meet a lot of people that way though. That was fun.
Dude, honestly, it's really funny because I used to be so paranoid during those because I would like watch people and like sometimes people wouldn't get to talk for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, there was definitely spots where you're waiting.
Yeah, and I was like, I always felt so bad, and I was like, everybody hates me. And then I started doing these, and especially now, like that work is different and life is different, and I can do multiple shows a week, right?
Yeah.
And a couple people told me they're like, oh man, I kind of miss like everybody coming together, and I was like, no, I switched this for you guys. I was like, don't tell me you missed that. No, I think maybe like some special edition stuff, maybe like to get like some other guests on it, but like I do think in the long run, like especially like once people get on here and they're like, oh, we just get to talk about me for the whole time. Like it's I'm this makes me feel pretty. So it I feel I don't feel like that guilt and like watching people like just sit and do nothing and feel bad for them.
Me and you
And
have
I
the
don't.
thing though where we don't ever have to shut up. Like we could talk nonstop all forever. You know what I mean? Me and you both could just do that. So like when
Yeah,
there's 14 other people in the room, it can be a problem. Like
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like we just get caught up, and then you're like, you gotta let them talk, and then they say something interesting, and then you end up talking 10 more minutes. It's like, nah, it's
yeah,
dangerous. So now I get it. Like certain hosts are a little bit less like talkative. So I could see why
yeah.
they want to hand it off and stuff. But like, yeah, no, you're always into the comic already. You already have the energy for the show. Like, so it's like one of those things that's hard to really like rein that in when you have to interview 10 people.
Yeah,
So,
I'm bad. I do not shut up. And then yeah, when I get someone like that, we've talked before and we know each other, and then it's like just like buddies hanging out. And like already, like if there were 4 other people in this chat, they would be like, quit fucking talking about this cat and talk about the comic so that it's my turn.
No,
But
totally,
yeah,
and that's what it is, man. So it's like I get that. It's a little more like chill for you, which is the key, really. But like, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, as far as like someone who got to like come on those shows and stuff, like it was fun just meeting people, and like you said, there was definitely a little bit of waiting and stuff like that. But I remember one time I was watching like hockey while it was on, so it all was good.
yeah.
But like, yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I know a lot of people will watch wrestling during the show. Like
Always
Mario
good.
does that even like for some of the One True Love stuff. Mario straight up told me he was like, it was just me, him, and Jay, and he's like, by the way, I'm watching wrestling. So, like,
That's hilarious.
if I
Nah, yeah,
get
I mean,
connected, let me know.
that's one of those things. Like if someone was on right now, like the Yankees are off today, they suck anyway. But like, yeah, say the Giants was on or something like that, yeah, I'd have it on. Like you always got to have that second screen experience in this
Yeah,
day and age. But yeah, it's cool. But like, yeah, no, like you said though, like it is kind of hard to talk about yourself all day. That ends up being you talk about your freaking apartment and stuff. But what are you gonna do?
no, man, but then you lure in the audience with guilt. Now they're like, that poor motherfucker's got to move twice in a month. Like I'm gonna up my tier on his campaign, maybe help out a little bit.
Yeah,
Like.
for real.
Hit
Nah, the best
him
would
with
be
the
if
guilt.
someone's like, "Hey, I need a roommate." You know what I'm saying? That's what it really would be at. But like, yeah, nah, for real. Like the problem is, everyone I've ever lived with, eventually you just don't want to live with them anymore. Family, friends, it don't matter. You want to live alone. That's what life's about, getting some
Yeah.
freedom. So yeah, I just gotta get my own damn place. That's the reality of it.
I know how that goes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, but free living. Well, I don't live for free, but I live cheaper than other people do. But yeah, I'm, it sucks. Like I really noticed it in this heat wave where it's like, man, I wish I had like a room that I could set up as a studio, right? Or like a nerd like other stuff, even if it was an apartment, even if it was a
And that's
fucking
how I feel here, because it's like
like
I'd
a
like to do some streams and things like that, but it's like,
yeah
man, this ain't no good background. I need a bedroom and an office. Like you can't just do it all in one for me.
yeah
Like this ain't no good. So like, yeah, it's like kind of a pain in the butt. But not only that, like having a roommate and stuff, like you got to live with someone who what do they like their air conditioning on? You know what I'm saying? Like I like mine a
oh
little lower,
yeah
honestly, stuff like that. Like it's like freaking way too hot in here. So yeah, that's another thing. So I can't wait to just not have to deal with nobody, not have other
yeah
people leaving dishes in your sink and shit like that. You know what
oh
I'm
yeah
saying?
I know that's probably nice. I've joked around about buying a tiny house and putting it in my parents' backyard. And
That's awesome.
dude, even then, like the nice tiny houses are like 20 grand. I'm like, where the fuck am I gonna get 20 grand at, right? Like,
I mean, if I had land to put something on, I could probably find the 20 grand if I begged enough people like I do for Kickstarter and stuff. But yeah, that's awesome. Wow, your parents have that big of a backyard? They could just freaking put a house back there?
well, like a tiny house,
That's
not
pretty
a
dope.
house. Yeah,
Yeah, that's still something. It's like when Bobby Hill had the doghouse in King of the Hill and he just had to live on the front lawn. That sounds good to me. I'm down.
same deal. And then I just like run some extension cords to that motherfucker and a garden hose, and I'm good to go, man.
No,
Um,
that sounds perfect to me.
John Westhoff is here. John is another big fan of yours.
Yeah, John rules.
He talks about Magic Powder a lot. And he's
Drumsticks of Doom, John. Yeah, John rules, man. I'm a big fan.
he's good people.
Yeah, and he's
funny,
always a big supporter on all the campaign stuff, like on Twitter, even on Blue Sky now. Like John's always got my back. So like, yeah, that always helps a lot, man. Like it don't even matter like how many followers a person has. Like if they retweet you, it just helps. Like even if no one else sees it, just see it get retweeted makes you feel a little better. Like all right. So it's like, man, having people that are always there like that, like having your back is huge. So like, yeah, thank God for John and people like John. Like,
yeah, that's one of the best things about all of this stuff. Like whether, well, I mean, just
or thank
recently,
Satan for John. I don't know. I think I said thank God for John.
Yeah,
But I don't know what John. I don't even believe in a God. So
he
yeah, thank
accepts
Satan for John.
all deities, and we're in the Cthulhu invades Neverland anthology together. So you can also thank the old gods. They have a part.
See, I didn't even know you guys were in it. Like I know I've been retweeting the crap out of it because I know a lot of people are involved, but I don't know who. You know what I mean? I'm just blah, blah, blah. I think I even did I do an update with that? I don't even know, but I've definitely been putting that over.
Yeah, it's like 80 people.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Those anthologies are intense, man.
Yeah, dude. We over 80 people. We funded. I don't know if we got any. I think we maybe got one stretch goal. It kind of went down to the wire, but yeah, like I got.
Yeah, but it looked
I'm a comic book. I'm a comic book creator now. I get to.
Dude. I mean, I remember you used to like even be like, I wonder if I could do it. Like, man, no doubt you could do it. So that's cool.
Yeah. It's just doing it. And that goes like honestly, like everybody out there, like it's just when I used to get aggravated when people would say this, like, you want to make a comic book? Make a comic book. Like, okay, bro, like great advice, but it's actually pretty good advice, like network, get to know people, especially in the indie crowdfunding community. It's like a big fucking family dinner anyway, right? Like everybody's like, come in, grab a plate, sit down, get comfy. It's a very nice community to be part of.
Nah, totally.
But yeah,
but like you cool say stuff. Too, like like people are like, oh, just do it. But like I don't know. I think a big part of it is like you got to know what part, like, because you can make a comic, you can be the inker, you can be the letterer, you can be a flatterer, you can be an editor, like you can be you don't have to be the writer, you don't have to be the artist. There's other parts and stuff like that. So, and then like if you want to do all the parts, you just there's a million roles out there. Everyone's looking for someone to work with. So, I think but if you don't have your own idea, like then just find other people to work with. And if you do have your own idea, then find other people to work. Like it's not It's one of those things, like, it's like when you're a writer and everyone's like, oh, I'm a writer too. And like, oh, what have you written? And they're like, well, I haven't written anything. And it's like, well, okay. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, all right, screenplays. Like, okay, can I check out your screenplay? Like, well, I mean, I never wrote a screenplay. But
yeah, it's just like it's an idea that, like, I've had for years that.
It's like there's like an episode of Curb, I think, where he calls himself an inventor. And then, like, Jeff, the other guy, Jeff, is like, what have you ever invented? He's like, well, no, I mean, I have the ideas for inventions. That's not an inventor. But yeah, like the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of like doing what you want to do instead of saying what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So it's anything, like comic books, literally anything. Like going to the doctor. This is the first time I'm on a podcast with glasses because I said I was gonna get my eyes checked. You know what I mean? Like just go.
Nice.
Just do nice. But yeah, so a lot of people have a problem with not doing what they said they're gonna do, and those are the people you don't want to work with.
Yeah. And that is also true. Yeah, don't let other people bring you down, but also don't bring yourself down. Like it's if you want to try something, try it. Ignacio, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you.
Ignacio, another person who's always got my back as far as like retweets everything, even if it's like 3 days later. Sometimes we'll just be like, bam, retweeting everything. So like, yeah, always nice. Like, yeah,
the campaign's been over for a week.
Yeah, he's like, check it out anyway. Make sure look at all the success on this campaign. But yeah, like you just gotta love it. But yeah, like you said, this community is what it is. Like you see who's got your back, who doesn't. You know what I mean? And you just if they got your back, you gotta get their back. That kind of thing. Someone retweets you gotta retweet them. That kind of stuff. Like it's one thing if you like you don't have the money to buy their comic, whatever, but you could still help other people find their comic. And I feel like I don't have the biggest audience or anything like that, but like I just try to share it. You know what I mean? A lot of people
really like you though. Like people do really I'm not saying that in a surprised manner. Like really, right. Jeff?
Yeah, this guy, this mother,
this dude. But you've always been a champion of the community. Like you said, like you're always quick to share. You're always quick to support. You're good with like the updates and referring other campaigns and stuff. Like you've always you share your success with Kickstarter with other people, and you put out a good image out there. So.
I mean, it's like one of those things. Like it's like I don't know. It's hard not to help out someone who when they ask. Like it's even someone I don't know a lot of times. Like they'll hit you up on Kickstarter and be like, I got a campaign. You want to do cross promotion, something like that. you know, as long as they're not doing something crazy on their campaign that I'm not like down with, I'm pretty much, you know, because even like some not safe for work stuff I'll put out there, even though I don't make that kind of stuff, or you know what I mean, it don't matter if it's mature rated as long as the person's cool and they're not making something that's like, you know, I don't know, something that I just don't enjoy or whatever. But for the most part, you know, if you're making an indie comic, you're just already cooler than most people just for that reason alone. So I'm already down, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't that hard to convince me you're cool if you're doing indie comics. So it's one of those things. And like, you know, there's superheroes, there's everything out there. So like, you know, if you're not into that, there's because that's the thing. People are like, oh, I don't get into indie comics because I like superheroes. And I was like, that's stupid because there's a million superhero indie comics too. You know, like people sleep on it because they think indie comics means not superheroes or something. And just because I'm not doing superheroes doesn't mean, you know, Tights ain't out there. You know what I mean? You know, Daniel Caliban or whatever. Like, there's a bunch of dudes out here just putting out superhero stuff that's way more interesting to me than a character that's been written 400 times to be the same guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't buy that so much as like I want to see what the creator has to do with their character. It's like, yeah, I can write a Batman comic book and it'll probably be awesome, but it ain't really Batman. You know what I mean? It's a made up thing in my, you know what I mean? It's like so whatever. So that's how I look at, you know, the mainstream comics when they're getting passed around like that. Like, I don't know. I like to give me that creator owned comic, baby. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's it's a nice, and I like the big two as well. But I mean, most of my life is indie stuff, and when I have time, I mean, everybody knows I like buying the Marvel omnibuses and stuff. But I mean, even then, like I buy them and I don't fucking read them, so it's like, why?
Yeah, where do you get the time, right? Like, Jesus, you got so much stuff to read. Like, yeah, I can't even imagine trying to like read old stuff too. And it's like,
dude,
it's hard.
So like I call this room the mail room, right? So like,
oh my.
There's
stacks and stacks.
And on that chair, I don't even open my mail anymore. Like,
I see everything rolled up still.
All these unopened packages, like on.
See, I still got one. Phil Appley did a cool piece of art for me, and you know, we made a sticker out of it for Magic Powder issue 3. And it's like Breaker playing the guitar, and he like did it, and I still have it like in the roll because I lived in a piece of crap place I wasn't gonna take out there. Then I got here, and like before I could even get it up, I'm moving again. So I'm like, yeah, eventually I'll get to see it in person. But like, yeah, everyone's already got stickers of it and stuff like that. But like, yeah, it was cool that Phil did that for us and stuff. Like, I love that guy.
That's funny.
Another cool creator out there.
And speaking of another cool creator that you work with is
Matt, baby, yep.
Dude, Matt. And I still like seeing this Grand Theft Auto homage is like. I'm so glad I spent the extra, like, very, very much worth the extra money. Like, I'm so glad I got that. He's just good people too. And I remember when he first did the variant, I was like really excited. I was like, it's because I was like, oh, two people I really like working together. I was like, oh, that's the magic of comics, like, and the magic of Magic Powder.
Yeah, exactly. It all fits together. But it's like, yeah, he did you know, our second issue we did a variant cover he did, which was kind of like a takeoff of like Taxi Driver. Poster I had, and like yeah, he did great on that. And then I came up with the whole Grand Theft Auto idea, and I don't even think I said like put the number 4 in there or anything like that, but he just got it, you know what I mean? When I told him what it was, he got it. And in the top left corner, so top right corner is usually a helicopter on these Magic Powder covers. So he did a helicopter, but I was like, we don't really have a helicopter. This ain't the Godfather 3. So let's get that drill in here, Matt. He's like, oh yeah, no problem. And he put the drill in. But man, like his attention to detail was so good that he even knew like each one has a helicopter. He had it out there and everything. So like, yeah,
that's funny. Amazing. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either. Like, and I love, you know, Grand Theft Auto. I have all this stupid cover, but I never even noticed that detail. And like he pointed it out, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. But yeah, so that was great. He nailed it. You know, it's really good. I think that people who love Grand Theft Auto will love Magic Powder. I don't think if I didn't spend as much time playing Grand Theft Auto, I would have ever even came up with Magic Powder. So yeah.
Nice. Video games help.
Oh, definitely. big creative boost. Like, even just, yeah, I've gotten so many ideas playing video games. And then I would say there's a character that's straight up based on something that happened in Grand Theft Auto Online. But I mean, I don't know if we'll even ever get to that character. That's how far down the line I have that plan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Apparently, we've got some birthday. It's Cole and K-Pop's birthday. Happy birthday! Unless you're just lying in the chat to be weird.
I doubt they're lying, but you never know. But yeah, happy birthday, everybody.
This ain't Chili's though. You don't get a fucking song and a slice of cake though. But I do hope you both have an awesome day. And Sarah agrees that you should try hitting up some cons. I agree too, man. I did my first con this year, and all I've wanted to do.
And how'd that go? Did you table or what did you do?
I was press, so like I was running around, and I got to go behind the tables, and like I bought like wireless mics, and so I would like set up like tripods, and I like handed people mics, and they were like, "Holy shit, dude, you're like legit." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm super legit. I
Yeah.
did. I just bought these mics like a month ago, and I was like unemployed, so it was like, yeah, let's spend $300 on wireless mics. That's a smart life
Yeah.
decision." But
I've
it,
done that before.
yeah, so it was like I took a risk on myself, and that risk ended up paying off. So and then yes, I do agree. K-pop has another great show. Jeff, she's busy, but she's super fun to talk to. If
Yeah, and
you
we
end up
follow each
uh,
other on Twitter and stuff. Like, yeah, maybe
nice.
for Magic Powder 5, I'll come on there or something, like if she's got spot. Because, like, yeah, that'd be cool. You know, I actually set up a tweet today, but it's not going to go out for like 3 days. Like, that says, like, who's looking for, podcasts in like
Oh, nice.
October, November. So I don't want to do it like while I'm advertising this podcast that we're doing. But I was like, while I remember to ask for Magic Powder, like, I need to do it now. Like, so yeah, in
No,
a couple days.
You should have. You should have been like, I gotta go on Blake's show. Is there anybody else?
Yeah, is there anything better out there
Yes.
for me to do? But no, yeah, fucking, it's just
I
ridiculous.
need someone with over 500 subs. This is fucking magic
Why?
power.
I don't even ever look at people's numbers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who even cares? Because, like, as long as you have 5 people that give a crap, that's better than 90% of the stuff out there. You know what I mean? Like, if
That is
even
true.
5,
That is
so
true. Yeah, you can.
I'm not looking
You can
for
have
200
thousands
people.
yeah, you can have thousands of people that follow you, but like nobody. Well, because I have over 5,000 followers. You have over 8,000 or 8 or 9,000 followers
Yeah, I
now,
think it's
right?
like 8 something. Yeah.
Unfortunately, like you don't have 8,000 backers on your
Yeah, exactly.
Kickstarter, so like
Dude, if I ever
it
get
doesn't equate.
4-figure backers, I'm gonna be stoked. Like, yeah, because I think our max I've ever had was like 340 something. Like, we did 340 for issue 4, but we did like 343 or 347 for issue 3 or whatever. So like that's the record right now. So yeah, to get to freaking 1,000, like, oh man. Or
Yeah.
even like I was watching like Lost or whatever, like 815, like the flight or whatever. Like if I get 815 backers, like damn, that would be epic. Like I can't even imagine what the number would be on the money. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things. Like, but as far as like, we're hitting the funding goals and stuff, so I don't really care. But like, yeah, I want to get numbers, man. You want to have readers because like I want to have enough readers to where I'm not sweating it every time. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to get the exact same backers every single time to make it. You know what I mean? Like, because I know some people can't back every time. Like it is what it is. It's not on them. That's just how life works. So like, you need a big enough pool of people that like, at least you're gonna fund every time. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, man. So far, everyone gets me to the finish line and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be blowing up everyone's timeline as much as I do and stuff like that. Even John's like, you should only do 2 weeks or something like that. And I'm like, man, I am not doing a 2-week. Like that ain't gonna work. Especially now with the way stuff is going.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
it's weird. And like I work for Invader Comics, and they do 2-week campaigns. They're fucking stressful, man. And then especially when you're a publicist trying to book shows and stuff, and it's like, all right, we got two, like, who has an opening in the next like 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody's like, none of us do. Like,
yeah, exactly. Kind of 2-3 months. That's the thing. Everyone's like playing so far, and that's the problem because like it's their job to really have their stuff scheduled. So I understand that, but like you said, as indie creators and stuff like that, timing's a little tricky sometimes. Like if your artist gets sick or something like that, it throws off your whole schedule and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So I mean, so like it's not bad to go do a podcast while your stuff's not even going theoretically, but it's not as good. So yeah. It's just tricky, but like lining it all up, like you said, at least you are a publicist for people, and like you're helping them with their comics and stuff like that. But like as someone who does basically all the damn promotion himself, even though he has other artists to work with and stuff like that, it's like you got to grind, bro. It's a grind every time, and like to get these numbers. It's not a coincidence that we've gotten over 300 multiple times. You know what I mean? And it's because I grind like this. It's like I find people on Twitter that I've never even heard of, never heard of me, but I see them on like a search thing because I search for people that go on Kickstarters, or I search people that like fantasy, or I search people that do TTRPGs. I just follow, and then eventually they'll look at your thing, and maybe out of those 400 people, 2 of them will back you. Then you got 2 new readers. You know what I'm saying? Like I grind it out, bro. That's how I do it. So like it's one of those things. Like I don't go out to the comic book store because they say the Kickstarter ain't gonna get funded that way anyway. So like. It's one of those things, and it's like eventually I do want to have all the facets, but as someone who's doing it all, it's just a pain in the butt to do so many things. Like, and then like you said, like we got regular jobs, stuff like that. Like I don't know, it's just a pain. But,
life. I mean, not that my life is that eventful, but I mean, it's just like, when you guys that do all that Kickstarter stuff yourself, since I've been like working with other creatives doing that, it's like wow, you guys have.
24 days,
and it is usually just like it's Someone said this to me a while back, and it kind of, and they said this in front of their artists when I had Justin Jordan and Clark Bent on the show, and like Justin was even like, the artist is usually drawn, and so like the script is usually done. So like the writer is usually the one that's like trying to get the interviews,
Yeah, we're
getting
just sitting
online, like
around,
getting
like,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, like, and he was like, I'm not complaining. He's like, he's like, I would rather do all that and let Clark like do the pages, right? But it's crazy because it does get to be a lot, and it's just so much to do, and that's even like has nothing to do with like actually making the comic or even funding the comic or shipping the comic, like all these other elements that like you have to be a special kind of creator to do Kickstarter, I
But
think.
like you said,
Because
there's people that do the art and do what I'm doing.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and
Like, so
do
like look at
everything. Yeah,
Jason Copland and stuff like that. Like, or
yeah,
is it Copeland? Like, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but like, yeah, like with
Copeland,
with Full Tilt, like he did all that stuff, like 300 plus pages of art. Then he, did the Kickstarter version, but he was working on that. I don't know how many years. I think it was like 3 or 4 years or something. So like, he was basically promoting it the whole time. But he's also working on it. Even to this day, like he just sent out the script revisions or whatever, like the bubble revisions he wanted done on the lettering and stuff. So like, he's still grinding out. He does all that stuff himself. So like, yeah, like you said, like it helps. Like, yeah, all my artists are doing the art, and I'm doing the rest of the crap. Because like you said, like. I could write 400 scripts, but what good is 400 scripts if I have to wait, to do 2 a year anyway? So
yeah,
like it's one of those things. So like, yeah, don't get ahead of yourself. But yeah, also don't stop either. But like there's certain times where like no matter how much promotion you do, the thing you have isn't gonna ever grow more than it's gonna. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that definitely have ceilings, and like that's one of those things too. Like with Magic Powder, I feel like that idea is just. It appeals to so many different things. Like I'm not worried about a ceiling, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that write really personal stuff, and like it's great art, it's great everything. It's long, it's gonna be 200 pages already done and stuff like that. But it doesn't appeal to a mass audience. So like they're getting 100 backers, you know what I mean, instead of like 400 backers or 500 backers. And then you see the things like Full Tilt, which is kind of like almost the same genre of Magic Powder. And like that blew up, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just like it's like a Sin City thing. It's like a whole kind of thing. So there's already a built-in audience and stuff like that. So a lot of the things with indie comics, there's not a built-in audience. And people are just making up a whole new genre and things like that. So it's really hard, unless you have your own audience already. Then you know what I'm saying? Like so, like you come on here, even explaining something to all these people that are gonna back it, like it's almost impossible to explain it without giving them the comic. So that's what the whole point of making the comic is. Like it's the only way to make that medium is what can do it. So I don't know. It's one of those things. So like, yeah, always be mindful of that too. Like okay, it's a great idea and it is great artwork, but don't get down on yourself because it doesn't appeal to the McDonald's of the world. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what indie comics is in a way too. You know what I mean? Like certain things will, get mass appeal. Like I don't even know if I count Image Comics as indie comics. You know what I mean? But like if you count Walking Dead or something like that, even that, like zombies, motherfuckers love zombies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things. But he got there before. I'm sure a million people have done zombie comics since then, but I can't name any of them off the top of my head. You know what I mean? But like it's one of those things. Like you want to be there first and start the genre, but also somehow there's an audience for that genre. It's just tricky, man. Like the whole idea of making things for other people, it's just tricky. And then there's a lot of artists out there who's like, I don't care, I make it for myself, stuff like that, and that's cool. But those are the same people wondering like, why doesn't anyone care about my comic? You know what I mean? Like, don't be aggressive to your audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be like, I don't care if I have an audience, blah blah blah.
This public isn't for you.
Yeah, exactly. I make this
it also
for me,
backed my comic.
Yeah, but fuck you, fucking give me money. You know what I mean? Like, get out of my face, bro. Like, everybody has ideas. But don't try to be like, oh, I'm so punk rock, I don't even care if anyone reads my stories. Like, no, bro. Like, the whole idea of storytelling is having someone to tell the story to me. So, I mean, if you want to go talk to yourself, go talk to yourself. That's not an appealing way to fucking pitch your comic, but that's the world we live in, bro. People are just so anti this and that. Like, they don't even want readers. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Blows my mind.
It's funny you mentioned because Jason Copeland, I found when I interviewed him, I found out. So he has like a clause in his deal with Zoop, and for like his retailer tiers and stuff, and it's like basically like he has banned his book from being sold on Amazon, and now he still wants readers, right? He just doesn't want it sold on Amazon. But I was just like, the balls on this guy, right? Because he comes out, he like openly admits he's like, working for publishers fucking sucks. I haven't had any good experiences with them, and
I have no
work for
interest
myself.
in that either.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you'd ever thought about pitching this around, because
One time I talked
do
to a
think
publisher.
I think it's good enough. But if you don't want it to be at a publisher, then
I just don't see the point.
no.
Like, what are they gonna do for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I already paid
Yeah,
for it and stuff. What the fuck are they gonna do? They're gonna ship it for me or something?
put their name on it and
You know what I'm
sell it as
saying? Woo! Thanks, guys. Yeah, great. It's like the fucking studio system. Like, get out of my face with that shit. Like, unless you're gonna pay me before I made it, and you're gonna help pay my artist for me and stuff like that, then you get the fuck out of my face, bro. Because like, there ain't no way I'm sharing anything with somebody who came in after I'm done. And that's how they hit you up, bro. I talked to one publisher. I ain't gonna name him, but it's definitely a publisher I'm not trying to retweet. And they basically said, when you're done with all 6 issues and we can put it into one book, we should publish it, and then I'll get all the credit. And then if we get a Netflix deal, we get 50% of your money and everything else. And I was like, listen here, buddy boy. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, bro. Like, I don't see the point of any of this publisher crap. Like, what? Oh, they're going to put me in a comic book store that's going out of business? Like, thanks, buddy. Are they going to put me on Twitter where they don't even have as many followers as me? Like, get the fuck out of here. That's what I'm saying. Like, are you serious? Like, oh, yeah, I need a publisher. That's why, like, when I see people, I got turned down by a publisher. Oh, man, it sucks. Like, who even cares what they think? Like, I don't give a... No one's going to tell me I'm making a comic book or not. I'm making my fucking comic book. I'll tell you. So, yeah, that's the thing. I believe Jason on all that shit. And I see other people talking about, oh, man, they haven't paid me in 6 months. I did this art for this Marvel thing or this Star Wars thing or whatever. And it's like, first of all, fuck Disney, fuck WB, fuck all that shit. So anyone who's, whatever, bro. Like, it is what it is. So, whatever. That's all I can say about that.
You should do, like, a Jeff Schiller comic book TED Talk about, like, why you don't need a publisher. I think more people are starting to realize it, but, like, there's still that. I mean, I think a lot of people want to see their book in a shop. I think that's part of it. And I also still think a lot of people think it's going to make their lives so much easier, which you just said, it won't necessarily, right? They won't. There's distribution stuff maybe, but you're paying for that for a comic book that you already paid for.
Yeah. And then you're still the one that has to promote all the thing on Twitter, being like, hey guys, put this on your pull list, put this on your pull list, put this on your pull list. And then if enough people don't put it on their pull list, then that publisher
no one pre-orders comics.
Shit. Yeah. Then what happens? Guys? I don't know. So yeah, I just do it Kickstarter. I own it. It's mine. If people want to read it, hit me up. You can have a comic. There it is. Boom. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, to me, it's not about seeing it on the shelf or anything like that. I don't care about that. I like when someone hits me up like, man, I like this character, or man, I can't believe you killed that character, stuff like that. Like, people actually open the book and read it. That's who I'm here for. Everyone else, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. So yeah, it's one of those things.
You do like to kill some cool characters.
Yeah, Magic Powder is all about, like, it's one of those
ruthlessly.
Things. I can't stand shows where people are like pointing the gun at each other. Hey man, hey, everybody's talking with guns in their faces and shit. No, there ain't none of that. If your gun comes out, you're getting shot. That's how it works. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? This ain't fucking Lost where people are running around the woods holding guns at each other every time. Like, nah, man, nah. So, like, yeah, if you fucking kill somebody, someone's probably going to kill you. Like, that's how it goes, the Magic Powder. So you better not get in the mix if you don't want to be. It's like it's all in the game, as they say on The Wire and stuff like that, like with Omar and stuff. Like, you can't get in and get out. Like, there ain't no getting out. Once you're in, that's how it goes. So, or even like the stupid Sopranos pops. I got like Sylvia right here. Like, they pulled me back in. But, like, yeah, so I don't know. To me, Magic Powder is all about that. Like, it's like, because I watch so many cliche shows where it's like, even the Sopranos, man, every single time they kill somebody in Sopranos, it's like in broad daylight, cars driving by, no one gets arrested ever. Like, and so, like, in Magic Powder, like, there's not even the same laws and stuff, so, like, it makes a little more sense why you can get away with these things. But yeah, it's just hilarious, bro. Like, so yeah, like regular human crime stuff, like Ozark and stuff like that, I'll see in these things, and I'm like, bro, they are out of good crime. So that's why I made a fantasy crime thing. So I'm like, this human crime stuff don't fly. It's done. It's been done. The Godfather's out there. You know what I'm saying? Reservoir Dogs. It's been done.
Mm-hmm.
Heat. I don't think Heat's the greatest thing ever. People love Heat. It's a good heist movie, I guess. The best heist movie hasn't been made. You're
walking a dangerous line right now.
Hey, I will say this: the best heist movie has not been made yet. I will say that. So there's still some room.
I'm with you there.
Because like Heat was good, but like even the action scenes in Heat don't even make sense. Like they're pointing guns this way, and then the next cut they're shooting all like it don't even make sense. It doesn't edit together. So people are like, oh, it's the greatest movie ever. And then you got the whole Ashley Judd. Whatever. Heat's fine, okay? But it's the one genre, I think, like, in crime that maybe movies still have a chance on. Because, like, Ocean's 11, it's cute, but that's not my kind of crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want some down, dirty crime. Like, the movie Thief with James Caan's cool. But, like I said, heist movies, there's still some room to make the best heist movie. Like, Goodfellas, they already did that. You know what I'm saying? Casino, they already did that. You ain't making an Italian mafia movie in America better than those movies. Godfather, you know what I'm saying? Like, they keep trying. But they haven't made better ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, we see the Dottie Brasco's, okay, you know, but we did that already. And then you look at Narcos, right? So now they did the whole cartel thing. They even did Colombia. If you ever seen Gomorrah, which is not even an American show, it takes place in Italy. They already did the whole Gomorrah in Italy. Like, there's all kinds of great shit.
That was one of your big inspirations for Magic Powder,
Huge
wasn't
inspiration. Oh, big time. Because that's a show where I felt like that first season of that show was exactly the kind of tone you would, it felt like that's what it's like dealing with a bunch of gangsters. Like, these motherfuckers will kill you. They will torture your girlfriend. They'll burn your house down. They'll shoot people in public. Like, they don't care about nothing, bro. They'll kill your wife. They don't care about nothing. But then all these shows like Sopranos and stuff, like, oh, we're Christians and we don't do bad things, even though we're killing people all the time. Like, nah, bro. It's all hypocritical bullshit. And anyone who presents it otherwise is a lying asshole. So, you know what I mean? So that's how Gomorrah comes off. Like, they don't, they can say whatever they want. They got their little Jesuses up on their walls and stuff too. But man, everybody's getting whacked. And they all live in, like, it's basically like The Wire in Italy. Like, you see actual ghettos in Italy. You know what I mean? So, like,
Wow.
People don't really understand, like, what poverty's like in other countries and stuff like that. And why, like, even that's why the cartels exist in other countries. And so, like, the Italian cartels, it's a pretty interesting look at that kind of stuff. And like I said, it's not all, like, sanitized like most American crap, like Fargo and things like that. So,
I like that you took that grit. It's kind of like inspiring. You're kind of a fucking genius. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's when you talked earlier about how you said, like, you don't see a ceiling for Magic Powder, right? And you're 100% right, because you took some iconic properties that we love in this country, and then you mixed it with, you like did a genre blending, right? And it's like okay, like, let's think of like two of the most highly profitable and highly popularized shows in the last few decades, right? Sopranos and Game of Thrones.
and that's
like,
totally what it was, bro. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and you're like,
literally,
what if we like put it together, but like with like elves and dragons that no one's ever gonna see, or so,
a
like
big part of it too is like no humans.
Yeah.
No humans.
Yeah.
There's no humans in my shit. Like, if you look at D&D, everyone's like, oh, I'm a half of this, I'm a half of that, whatever. No humans. No humans. No humans. Even Alpha don't no humans. There will not be any freaking humans. I'm over human beings. You know what I'm saying? I see enough of human beings every day. I've had enough of human beings, bro. Like, I'm just over the whole idea of human beings and what they do to each other and what they do to other things and everything else.
Yeah.
No human beings. So yeah, that's a big part of Magic Powder as well. Like, yeah, all those cool things minus all the stupid asshole human stuff. So yeah.
Which is funny because you still have there's a lot of assholes and like the
they definitely got human traits. Let's not get it wrong.
Yeah. There's definitely that like destructive drama. Sarah, I wanted to pop back to this. Sarah said that she was just like, they were talking about when I used to have like the panels shows and stuff, and Sarah says that she was met by nothing but like generosity and support. And Sarah, that's because you're a fucking sweetheart and you're nice to everybody, and you're super supportive to your peers. And it's crazy. Like Jeff just mentioned, like, human beings can be really shitty, but it's crazy what can happen to you when you put out good vibes. Like, typically those good vibes get returned. Sometimes life will fuck you when it's bored.
I mean,
anyway, but
I have good luck in percentages with that kind of stuff, but I'm also just like a regular white man on the internet with a beard. But like, no, I see people being cool anywhere that aren't just those regular or considered regular things by the people with blue check marks or whatever. But like, man, people will just be hating on random stuff. Like, I don't get a lot of hate. Like, I don't know if I'm lucky or I've already blocked people because I've been on Twitter so long or whatever. But man, I see someone, anybody just tweet anything nice or whatever, and then there's just hateful motherfuckers, and they're like, this sucks, and you suck, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, where does it, I don't know how I get so lucky a lot of the time, because I'm on the internet hard. So I don't know what it is, but like, yeah, man. And I see people, with not like way less followers, stuff like that. They'll just tweet one thing, and somehow there's just a swarm of jerk offs. Like, I don't even get it, bro.
Yeah.
And they're not hating on nobody. They're just like, hey, here's my comic book, and then somehow they're the asshole. And so, like, so even that, like, being positive out there isn't even enough sometimes. You got to be lucky and positive. Like, it's
that's
crazy.
true.
It's
That's
really
luck.
crazy.
Luck is a big part of it. Holy shit, man! We've talked for almost an hour. I haven't even shown your Kickstarter page.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, man, you can talk all day. So it's not worried about it. Hey, 152. Yeah,
152, 11 days to go. That's when I saw that there was only 11 days to go. That's when I was like, really? I'm your first podcast? We'll go back to that, because I maybe you proved that, like, no one has to talk to people.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my
thing.
thing. It's one of those things. Like, I would say if you take every campaign or whatever. I don't know what the percentage would be like that I got off of podcast backers and stuff like that. But I would say that a lot of the backers that I have now are still people that I got from other podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like some of the people that already backed me watched me on Blake's Buzz before, or you know what I mean? So it's like they're just coming with me still. So that doesn't really prove that either. It just means that I'm retaining some of my readership and stuff. But no, really, it is what it is. Like if you don't have the built-in audience, you better go to other people's audiences. I don't care who you are,
Yeah, you gotta leech off somebody.
Or,
well, I mean, not necessarily.
No, I know what you mean, but that is what it is. That's like, so if you feel bad, like, oh, you're using this person, whatever. Like, say, like Anthony LaFauci, he's a big supporter of my stuff, and he does like We Have Issues podcast, and I think Critically Stupid and stuff like that. And this guy, he doesn't have to put over my stuff on his podcast and stuff, but when he does, man, like I think it was issue 2 was the first time he ever mentioned my comic, and I don't think we even ever interacted at this point. He mentioned my comic on his thing, and it like blew up my Kickstarter for that day.
Oh wow!
And so yeah, I mean, like that was a huge boost. And ever since then, and like not only that, he backs my stuff. He's like in the comics as like cameos, and he's like a speaking character in Magic Powder now.
Oh cool!
Like, yeah, it's like all that stuff. But it's like, yeah, man, it's like so people who are like, oh, I don't need help. Like this is another thing. Like, oh, it's like the people I don't need readers. I don't need help. I don't need this. Nah, fuck all that, bro. Like if you think you're above it, then you're an asshole. Like everybody needs help in every situation in existence. You know what I'm saying? Who do you think makes your lights turn on? You know what I mean? Like nobody doesn't need help. So that's fucking bullshit. So everybody like that just needs to like wake the fuck up, man. Share other people's stuff. Be cool. Like there ain't no reason to be hated. Like don't get me wrong. If people don't share your stuff, you don't have to share their stuff. But if people are sharing your shit, you should probably share their shit. You know what I mean? Like that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Team effort. Like you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're over there like hooking up the wrong people. You know what I mean? That's another thing I notice on social media a lot. Like everyone's like, oh, gonna retweet the most famous people in the world that don't even give a shit that I exist. While the people that are like their friends on there, they're just like, maybe give them a like once in a while, whatever. But they're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, what are you retweeting Funko for? What are you retweeting like Matt Damon or whoever the fuck? Like, or even Marvel and DC? Like, man, they could get their own shit retweeted. Like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, man, it just blows my mind, like the way people do not support their friends and they do not support people who support them and stuff like that. It's really disappointing. But here we are on my Kickstarter page.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I want to read the solicit real quick. Do my movie trailer thing. That I've ruined my throat. All right, here we go. The Elf with No Name is a mixture of Western and fantasy genres. It feels a bit like Lord of the Rings meets Blood Meridian. In this first issue, we will see where the titular character comes from and why he feels the need to travel to the deserts of Zodiaz, a place few elves have ever visited. The Elf with No Name takes place hundreds of years before the story of Magic Powder begins. While the world is the same, we won't be seeing any characters crossing over between the two stories. If Magic Powder is like reading a newspaper in comic form, The Elf with No Name will be akin to a history book. You'll learn about the elves, dragons, fairies, dwarves, sorcery, and even fucking giants, while The Elf with No Name travels the Red Desert in this series. This issue will feature 21 pages of story art as well as supplemental story. So like a cool history book, not that bullshit you had to sit through in high school, right?
Yeah, exactly. And there was a part like, yeah, man, Sam rules. This might be my favorite cover he's done yet, but that's how it is. Like every time he just gets better and better. Yeah, this is great. It's kind of based on the outlaw Josie Wales.
There you go.
I'm a big fan of some old Clint stuff. And like, so yeah, I was thinking of like how to set the tone, and I was like, this looks pretty badass. And like, I'm not really sure how much the Elf with No Name's actually going to use 2 guns at the same time or anything like that, but like, it looks cool. And then like, when you go down, you see a few characters at a campfire who are characters in this issue. So you'll see them also like further on. Like, there's 11 preview pages right now, but they're not in any of those. And then yeah, so that's pretty much it. But yeah, that cover rules. That reading of the synopsis also ruled, and yeah, man, I'm pretty good. But yeah, as far as it goes, like I love the way, like you said, I'm really used to Danielle's style of Magic Powder. So when I got Jeff's style, it's a lot different. But like, man, yeah, I just love it. I love how different it is almost. Like it just.
I do too. I do too. It's also very pretty. I think it's gorgeous.
He got like even this like the flowers and stuff like that, like the plants and stuff. That was like one of his ideas. Like he wanted to add to it because like originally the masks, the whole idea of them all hiding their faces and stuff like that came from. Have you ever heard of the Mars Volta?
Oh yeah.
So they have the cover art of Francis the Mute, and the guy has like the bag over his head and the blue suit and stuff like that. So that's kind of where the whole idea of the whole bags over their heads things and no eye holes and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
and so
saw
like, and
them.
then take on that.
Saw them my senior year of high school. They opened for a Perfect Circle, and I ate a mushroom candy bar. I was tripping my balls off, and I
Yeah, that's
ran. I ran into my history teacher.
oh god, that's awesome that your history teacher was there. But yeah, that's
It
crazy.
was cool, but I see her and she was like, "Hi, Blake," and my eyes are this fucking big, and I'm looking around, right? And she's like, "Oh, you're having a good time," and I was like, "I'm having the best time," and she was like, "We have a test tomorrow," and I was like, "I
Oh
can't
god.
wait."
Yeah, for real though, that's the best
She
answer
even
to that.
told she didn't tell like the class the next day that I was on drugs, but she was like, people were asking her how the concert was, and she was like, "It was really cool." She's like, "I ran into Blake. He was having a great time," and I was like, "Shut up!"
All
Like,
hungover and shit at school. Yeah, man, I seen them. I think it was the year after I graduated, so the freshman year of college, and
nice.
played in Arizona with nobody. There was just them the whole time,
Oh, that's
freaking nuts. And then later on, maybe it was the next year or a couple months later, they opened for Red Hot Chili Peppers in LA at the Staples Center, and I went to that.
whoa.
Yeah, so that was pretty dope. But yeah, I would say that show in Arizona is probably maybe the greatest live show I've ever seen, man. Like, oof, because like Cedric's just so good, and then like Omar, so like, yeah, I mean that band, I've never seen anything like, and like they didn't stop. They were kind of like offended, like that people weren't dancing and stuff like that. But it's like, bro, we're watching. Like, this is nuts. Like, I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. But yeah, Mars Volta rules. There's actually a character in Magic Powder called Volta, which is not a coincidence. Yeah,
Nice.
so yeah, I'm a big fan. Also, at the drive-in, I love that, all that stuff, all that
I was gonna
San
ask if you
Antonio
listened
stuff.
to At the Drive-In before.
Yeah, I love it. All kind of crazy punk music, really. Like I like regular punk music, but like the more off it goes, like into other genres, is the better. Like even Fugazi, I feel like has so much like rhythmic stuff. Like a lot of punk music's just like too simple, like 3-chord. You know what I mean? Like I'm not into all that stuff as much as like say like Refused, or like you said, At the Drive-In's freaking nuts. And At the Drive-In, do their live shows like where they're in someone's living room and it looks like they're gonna literally knock the house down. Like the energy that they brought to shows, like, and like when you see Mars Volta, that's not the energy at all. So like, man, it's just totally different things. But like the way they can, it's just amazing. I just love it. But yeah, so yeah, big At the Drive-In fan.
Yeah, Volta went on tour recent. I can't remember if they canceled their tour date here. I thought it was after COVID, but maybe not. I don't. But I really want. I've just been dying to go see. I haven't been to a concert in so long, dude. I don't even remember what they're like.
I went to one.
It's been a long time.
In November, some friends of mine opened for Cave-In, so I went to go see that. And it happened to be the same day like the Rangers were in town to play the Golden Knights, so I didn't get to go see the Ranger game, but it was cool, like to see my friends play and stuff.
Nice.
And like I love Cave-In, and like the only reason I'm even into Cave-In was because of them. So like it was cool that they got to play with them, so I had to be there for that. And yeah, that was dope. But yeah, that's the last concert I've been to. I feel like there's another one that was coming that I wanted to go to. Oh, Dragon Force is on tour, but they're not coming to Vegas. Bastard.
Oh yeah, I kind of want to go see Static X and Seven Dust are gonna be here like for my birthday.
There you go,
dude. I just over a month, like usually before live shows, I listen to metal to get like hyped up and get the energy up. And for like a month straight, man, before all my live shows, I was rocking out to Static X, and because they started popping up on like all my Instagram shorts and stuff, because they post a lot of tour videos and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I started kind of listening to them again, and got more into them now than I did when they were like hot when I was younger. But yeah, they're
that's how I am with like Tool. Like I didn't really ever have a Tool album, and then a few years ago I downloaded their whole discography or whatever, and I was like, and hearing songs that weren't on the radio and stuff.
And your fucking world changed.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like I've already heard bands that were like, doing crazier shit than them by, because they copied them, So it's like one of those things. Like when you don't hear it when it happens, like you almost don't even get the, not the context, I guess we would say. But like even I don't know, it's just like one of those things. Like when you show somebody a show, and that show's been ripped off 400 times already, so then when they see it, they're like, man, not impressed. You know what I mean? Like you got to see it. You got to see it when it's happening. Like that's the
true.
whole thing.
That's
experience. True. But it's one of those things. I mean, if they've never seen any shows, then you're still good to go. But it's one of those things.
So I love the atmosphere in this art, by the way. The detail really starts coming through once like we get the masks off, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing of the first few pages. Like I was a little worried that it would like turn people off because, like you said, it almost feels like I don't know, like there's nothing to latch onto almost. Like there's just no faces and stuff. So yeah, I wanted to get the mask off as fast as we could, you know. And like the first time you see the mask coming off, like the teacher character, you know, he has like fake breasts on and stuff like that because he's like pretending to be a woman in the council, you know, because everybody, it's like almost like a game to these guys. Like they're all trying to like pretend to be something they're not while they're at the meetings, and then, you know, they're all faceless men type things and like, or faceless characters or whatever. But yeah, I just like
and
that
I like the colors too. Like it's not too bright and like the heavy blacks and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. Like I'm definitely stoked to see this new issue, man.
And the thing is, like Jeff, like when he did it, like he was like worried that his colors weren't good enough and stuff like that, or even his letters and stuff. I'm like, man, I love all of it. Like, yeah, especially like, yeah, when he gets to the water and he's over here giving me like haikus and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just super excited about it. And like, you know, he's one of those people, like when me and Danielle work together, like I send him to work and he really doesn't ask me no questions at all. Sometimes he'll make little changes here and there and then we'll talk about it or something. But like when it comes to working with like Jeff, like, man, this dude's asking me all kinds of stuff. It's like the episode of Seinfeld where the guy's like, you want this one? You want this one? You want this one? You want this one? And he's like, man, I don't care. Just do it. You know what I mean? But like in this case, like, you know, when you're working on something like this, every detail really is important. So it's cool that he cares that much to like be like, hey, what about this? And he even has his own ideas, you know, and he's like, can I do this? What about this? Do you like this idea? And I'm like, yeah, like, you know, it's cool having like that. So it's like a totally different workflow than it is with Danielle. But like, you know, it's still great. You know, it's so cool. Like, cause I mean, like I said, like me and Danielle, I'd work with Danielle on Magic Powder until he doesn't want to work on it anymore. And as far as this goes with Jeff, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool when you find artists that you can work with and you like working with, and then, you know, you just keep going. Like, it makes it so much simpler. Because I know a lot of people, they say, man, I put this much money into trying to make a comic book, and like either the artist didn't work out, or this happened, or the person stole their freaking money and stuff like that. So I mean, like, you know, that's another thing with luck. Like, I've been really lucky with the artists I found that.
Nice.
I've never had a really problem. Like Matt, you know, like Matt's one of my artists. He does the covers. Sam, you know what I mean? Obviously Danielle and Jeff. Like my little sister does all the graphic design and stuff like that. Like she's the one who puts all like our names on everything.
Yeah, I never put 2 and 2 together until on the new Kickstarter page where you're like, my sister will keep doing this, and I was like, oh, the last name, yeah, like that's cool.
Yeah, so like, yeah, that's the whole thing. And so she does all that. Like she invented the like Magic Powder logo that was Raven.
Oh,
and,
cool.
Yeah, so like, and she's gonna do the one for the Elf with No Name. Like, she should be done with it by the end of the month and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's gonna look. And yeah, so like, you know, so she's another artist I work with. So like, yeah, like I'm just lucky that, you know, I found all great artists. I've never had an artist that like screwed me in any way or anything like that. So like, yeah, it's been great. Like, you know, sometimes life gets in the way, like you said, and not everyone can make their deadlines or something like that. But I've never like had to like pause printing or anything. So. Yeah, I can't complain. Like with Danielle, I don't have him like, oh, you better be done by this day or something like that. You know what I mean? He just does it as he does it, and then I just work with that. You know, like usually he gets a page done a week or something like that. And I would say Jeff basically got a page done every other day, so it's easier, like quicker. You know what I mean? But it's because he had more time. Like I don't know what Danielle does in his regular life. You know what I mean? I don't know what his straight job is and stuff. So I'm not sure. Like even I mean, he may even do other things. Like I don't know. I know he doesn't really do other comics because he would post about it, I think. But and he worked with like Ricky Lima before he worked with me. But I think as far as comic goes right now, he's just been working with me. But yeah, and I mean, like I said, like I know he's down to do the first 6 issues, and then we'll see how he feels after. But yeah, I'm excited to get to the end of the first arc. But I'm definitely not excited about Danielle like being like, I kind of want to go do something else. So yeah, I'm hoping that's not what happens. Like if he wants a raise or something like that, that's life, whatever. I'm down. But I don't want to lose Danielle, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely down.
Because it's not that you guys lose these artists sometimes, but you know, sometimes you find these artists that don't have big followings, right? And then after a few issues of your Kickstarter comic, people start paying attention to them, and especially like with Danielle's art, it's hard to ignore, right? And then so they'll get like bigger gigs and stuff, and they got to take them, you know, they can't say no to them, and then either you have to like balance your schedule with theirs or find a fill-in or something. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen.
No, I mean, it's one of those things like with Sam, for instance, I don't know how much stuff he had really done before Magic Powder, but like now, if you are a Kickstarter backer, you've probably seen Sam's work popping up on other people's pages and stuff like that. And like, you know, his page rates have gone up and stuff like that, but he still always finds time to get it done for me and stuff like that. So I love that. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, like you said, like, you know, if Danielle, I don't know what's going to happen with Danielle because I don't know what his interests are Like, I don't know if he has, like, maybe he wants to do his own. I really don't know. Like, he's not very talkative. Like, he's one of those people. Like, he sends me the work, we talk about the work, and that's really it. Like, so it's one of those things. I want to actually go to Italy and visit him and see what's up. You know, yeah. Just because, like, you know, I never met him. I never met any of the artists I've worked with. Even my sister, I've never met. So it's just crazy. You know what I mean?
No shit.
No, get the fuck out of here. No, I know my sister. No, I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, like.
No, I was like, did you find each other? I thought there was like a story there, man. I was like, oh man, like I did a 23andMe test and I found this other family.
Yeah, my sister and me, like, I'm probably like, you know, like that's probably the person I'm close with in my family is my little sister. So like, you know, like,
same. My sister and I are really tight.
Yeah, like, you know, she lives in New Jersey now and stuff like that. So I haven't seen her since we started making the comics because she moved to New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
But she's gonna move back to Vegas, I think, next year. So that'll be cool. But yeah, you know, even that, like when you said like living with family and stuff, like eating and stuff, like when my sister's like the best cook, so like I haven't really had good meatballs in over a year.
Oh no,
sausage and peppers. I like my sausage and peppers probably more than hers. But everything else she makes better than me. So like, yeah, man, like tacos, fucking everything, just like weird stuff too. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even know how to make. And like, yeah, my sister's like one of the best cooks. So her coming back to Vegas will be nice, at least for like Thanksgiving and stuff, or my birthday and shit. You know, like it's definitely hoping that. But like, yeah, as far as it goes, like I said, I never met Sam. He's in Nigeria. Danielle's in Italy. Jeff, where's Jeff live? Seattle or something like that. So yeah, he's in America. Yeah, okay. He's an American citizen, I do believe. So like, yeah, maybe I'll meet Jeff one of these times. But yeah, I just, you know, it's crazy that you can basically make the most important thing in your whole life with someone you never even met before. But
yeah. With the comic, the 2-pager I did for the Cthulhu anthology, I just wrote a script and like Travis hooked me up with the artist, and then we needed a colorist, and I did reach out to a colorist that I really liked, and I was like, I knew it would be expensive, but I thought maybe I might have. I don't know.
There's no way to know until you ask.
There's a lot more money than I thought it was going to be, and I was like, I
don't have that budget. Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, dude, you're worth every penny. I just don't have those pennies.
No, and that's the thing, and that's where like when you talk about work with publishers and stuff like that, like if a publisher wants to do that, like work with me and stuff like that, and find me an artist that has like page rates I can't afford and stuff like that, then it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But if
that's
I'm
rare.
Here,
it's rare.
Right? It's just not a thing. It's just not a thing. They're not giving advances. None of that stuff exists. So like, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. If you work for Marvel already, probably and stuff like that. Like if I'm Robert Kirkman or something, or you know, it's a little different. But I'm not. So here we are. You know. So like, yeah, you got to work from the bottom up. And you got to find people who are on like your tier or level and try to work together and stuff like that. I know some people even find people like where you don't even have to pay up front. You pay them with the Kickstarter and stuff like that. I've never worked with anyone like that, but I know they're out there. So like, you know, there's a million ways to do it. And if they like your idea and stuff like that, but there's a lot of people too that like want free work. And that's, you know, that makes everybody look stupid. So like, you know, don't ever expect that. That's for sure. Like you said, people are going to maybe charge more than you expect. But like everyone's gonna charge, so like, you know, find someone who's in your range, you know, and like even if they don't charge, like pay them anyway. I remember like one time Matt, like on the Grand Theft Auto cover, he's like, "Man, I know this is late, so you don't have to pay me." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, I don't have to pay you. Like, get out of here, bro.
That
like,
sounds like Matt. Oh my god.
And I mean, I'm like, I'm not gonna not pay you, dude. Like, that's just not who I am and stuff. Like, and even that, like, he was like real weird. Even like, I'm like, how much do you want for this? How much do you want? Like, he would never even give me a damn number, you know. So I just gave him more than I gave him the last time, and I was like, whatever. So like, it is what it is. But like, yeah, Matt's like one of those dudes, like. He's already doing other things too, so he don't really sweat, I guess. But like, you know,
he's working at Oni and got a lot of shit going. Dude, I came into some of the same problems when I started working with clients. I didn't know what to tell people, like how much to pay for me, right? Because I was like, that's fucking weird to think about. And luckily, I got some very honest people who I would be like I would end up saying like a couple $100 cheaper than what they ended up paying me, and they would be like, I'd be like, well, I could do this and this for $150. They were like, no one does that for $150.
Yeah, it's like the budget's way more than that.
They were like, dude, you could make like, and then they would finally like they'd be like, I'm gonna give you this much for what I want you to do, and I'd be like, I was like, oh, that sounds a lot better, but you know, it's so weird when you start thinking about like, what am I worth? What am I worth to this client? What am I worth? And also, what do they
have, right? Too? Because like you don't ever want to say a number they can't afford.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose the job. So it's like you want to say a number that's in the range, but like you also don't want to like sell yourself short and shit. And especially if you're living off it and stuff like that. Like because that's the thing. Like I'm not, like I said, I haven't made any profits really off of any of the comic books yet, because I'm always putting it back into the comics. So anything I get is just gonna make the next issue and stuff. So I'm not really worried about making the money, but like staying even. Like if the Kickstarter itself can just keep perpetuating the next issues, like forget about it. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah, it's sustainable what you're doing right now, and hopefully that changes. Like you said, like you're finding new audience members. You're experimenting with genre. You know, you're gonna you may pick up a few and lose a couple along the way, but like as long as it stays sustainable and grows from there. And I mean, I've seen you grow. Like I mean, you may not notice it maybe with dollar amounts on the campaigns, but like I said, like your social media following, just in general, like the chatter of Magic Powder when people talk about Kickstarter comics, when people talk about
like that's
comics,
crazy to me.
People talk about you, you know, and it's
that's wild.
And I remember I remember when like none of us knew, I didn't know who you were, right? And I was like, what the fuck? The Godfather meets like Lord of the Rings, like what is this shit? And the art was beautiful, right? And I'll never forget getting to read that first issue. And
man, even me, man.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's all crazy, and like it's like one of those things too, where like people are always like tweeting things about like the comic industry and stuff like that, and it's like I'm not a part of any industry or anything. Like, you know, I mean, I make comic books. You know what I mean? Saying I don't consider myself a part of the comic industry or any of that crap. So like, you know, I never worked for anybody in comics. No one's ever paid me to do anything in comics. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a comic industry person. I've paid people to make me comics. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the same thing. Yeah, I guess Ignacio, he's saying I helped him work with Marquezon and stuff. Like, I don't even know how that happened. I'd love to know that story. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm just happy everybody else is happy. You know what I mean? I just want to make as many comics as I can. You know what I mean? I just love having them and telling the stories and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, it's cool. And like you said, like the fact that it's a fact, like even John really does like put me out there. Even Matt, like when we did that first one, Matt's like, can I be your number one fan and stuff like that? And like that was before he ever did any of our covers and stuff like that. And like just and that's like at the very beginning. That was like two years ago now. And it's like even that, like how much stuff we've gotten done in 2 years is crazy. What is this, like my 7th freaking Kickstarter already? You know
yeah,
what
is
like,
it? So you did four issues, and then I guess the Thez report, and then the trade.
Yeah, well, the Thez report came with issue 3, so it was like the coloring book, the trade, the 4 issues, and then Elf with No Name.
Wow,
yeah,
that's great. And it does, and like what, 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, the first one we
hasn't
ever
been 3 years yet.
No, because like the first one we ever ran was October 21. So
wow,
yeah, not even 2 years really yet, you know, and like yeah, so like it's
dope,
one of those things. Like so every 3 months I pretty much try to get a Kickstarter going. So like, you know, so hopefully like now it'll be 2 issues of each comic a year at least, you know. That's the kind of my idea. So you're never like asking people for something every month, but you're also never falling out of their mindset either. Like you're always there, you know what I mean? So like, I remember like I'll read through like Walking Dead or something like that, and they're like, we just dropped 3 issues in a week, so grab them all, you know what I mean? And I'm not expecting people to buy, you know, 40 issues of Magic Powder a year, you know what I'm saying? Not at this point, you know, but it'd be cool to be able to make like 5 or 6 a year and people actually want them. But yeah, like, you know, so I like, but whatever, like the rate we're going now is fine for me. But yeah, I would definitely like to get as far as possible. I don't know. It's one of those things. I know a lot of people when they make their indie comics, it's probably because of artists and stuff like that, but they're like, this is a mini series, this ain't no freaking mini series, man. Like Magic Powder is a fucking ongoing series, bro. And Elf with No Name, honestly, like if it goes well enough and Jeff's around and people like it, I mean, it'd probably go for a while too. Like I know where it's gonna end though. Like Elf with No Name has an ending. Magic Powder, it doesn't have a main character, so it don't need an ending. You know what I mean? It has a world, so it's different. But yeah, Elf with No Name has a very distinctive ending, and I can't wait to get to that. But at the same time, I'm not in no rush.
Nice. That's exciting. I never realized that about Magic Powder. Like what you just said is kind of like I'm sure like a lot of seasoned comic book veterans would be like, well, you can't make a comic book about a world. There has to be a protagonist. There has to be there has to be character arcs, and there are like there are focal points.
Oh, I got all that. Yeah,
right? But like you said, there's no one. You can't really nail down like one hero and one villain, right? There's groups, there's races, there's the world like is very much the character, right? And who inhabits that world and how the world changes them.
Yeah, totally.
But it's you know, it's so many people they tell you like don't do that. don't come out of the gate with this big story that's going to be years and years of issues and planning and start small and you were like, here's what you're not going to do is tell me what to do because my name's Jeff Schiller and be like like, oh, you're going to pull it off, and you're pulling it off. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, this far anyway, but even like say it is like Walking Dead, and after 6 issues, I gotta get a new artist or whatever. Well, that's fine because, like you said, I've built up enough with Magic Powder that I think I could find an artist that would be like, I want to be the Magic Powder guy or something. You know what I mean? So even if Jeff wanted to do it, you know what I mean? I don't think I want Jeff to jump over, but at the same time, I even have plans for like say the second arc that would like there's gonna be parts at the end of each issue that are gonna be done by different artists because it's gonna be like dream sequences. So I want the dreams to feel different than the actual thing. So I want different artists to do each dream sequence. So like I want Jeff to do one of them specifically. I have an idea for. So like he'll eventually work on Magic Powers hopefully too if everything goes the way I want. It's like stray bullets with them fantasy creatures. Yeah, and
that's a nice way of putting it. What's up? By the way, what's up, Dave? And also, what's up, Promiscuous Time Traveler? And what's up, Boosie? I just started playing Destiny again. But
I seen you put it on the other day.
I'm not good at it. I'm rusty as fuck. And then I started playing it and I took a break because the new season's about to start. So I was like, I'll just kind of, I don't know. It's one of the only like PvPs I've ever really liked. Like I was never super great at shooters, but Destiny is a little slower, a little more methodical
and teamed
like,
up and stuff.
Yeah, and so like, but yeah, I forgot how fun like Destiny Control is.
I don't think it's out yet, but Payday 3 is coming out, or I think the beta.
Oh, really?
Out. Yeah, and when Payday 3 comes out, like that's a super fun co-op shooter. And like especially like we used to do it like real the stealth missions, like we try to like rob the bank without alerting the cops and stuff. So if they have like a lot of stealth in that, like that would be super fun. Like so, and I haven't really gotten into a game in a while, so like Payday 3 I'm looking forward to. And like yeah, I'll probably get it on PC, but I think it'll be crossplay anyway. And so we could all jam that and stuff. So that would be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that so much stuff is crossplay now.
Yeah,
like my
sister
and brother-in-law are playing Diablo on PS5.
Nice.
And I'm playing it on PC, but they don't play as much as I do, or
yeah,
play as much as
you're so far ahead of them.
Yeah, so I'm like way ahead. And then what is it? I think I'm gonna end up buying Armored Core 6 at the end.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's made by FromSoft, so I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah,
I'll buy it.
I used to play, dude. I used to nerd out so hard on those mech games as a kid, like on PS2 days and stuff. Like,
and this is gonna be
pretty stoked for that.
I really cannot wait because like I didn't appreciate Armored Core for what it was at the time. Like I didn't know like how good FromSoft was. Like I wasn't a Dark Souls guy at the time and Bloodborne. And then now it's like now I have like the bonfire in my room with me everywhere I go. So I if I die I can just respawn. But like yeah, it's one of those things like video games right now are such a weird thing because like you have that company for instance, right? No microtransactions, none of that crap. And then you have stuff like even Destiny where they take away things you own. Like I heard a lot of the content that people have isn't even a part of the game anymore. And it's like that stuff, that's not cool, man. Like that stuff bothers me. So I can't support games like that. Like I won't ever buy it or play it or anything. Even Grand Theft Auto at this point, I can't even support because I don't like the way they do things. I don't like the way they threw Red Dead Online in the garbage. Like that kind of stuff bothered me. Even the remake of Red Dead they're doing, Red Dead 1, like there's not going to be any online. Yeah, see, and like a K-pop junkie, Mario Kart, and like my boy Cody's always like, yo, you gotta get the Switch and get on Mario Kart, and I watched him play some Mario, and it really made me want to get online and play some motherfucking Mario Kart, bro.
Yeah, he was for a while. They were getting together like with the like comic book people playing. Yeah,
like Chris gets in there with them and stuff. Yeah. Like I was watching Chris and Antonino with him and stuff. Like yeah, it's fun, man. Like that's the thing. Like usually I'm not that big in watching streaming and stuff like that, but it is. Like if it's your friends or whatever, like people like you like talking to, it makes it a lot more fun. Like you just get in the chat and talk shit and stuff. So like it makes it a little, a little bit more interactive. Like my buddy Mike does his stuff, and like I'll go in there and break his balls and stuff. But for the most part, I can't watch someone I don't know. Like, and I'm just in the chat, like, hey guys, like, yeah. I mean, I need to be treated like they know my name at least if I'm gonna be on the screen. Like, oh, Jeff's here. Like, yeah, that's nice, thank you. But yeah, so, one of those things. But yeah, it's freaking amazing. I just, like I said, I don't know.
Jeff is a man of the people. He's good dude. I definitely recommend like following him and keeping track of his endeavors.
Man of the people. I don't know. I'm just like I said. I don't know. The thing is, like you said, the whole thing about making the thing and they tell you don't do it. It reminds me of Game of Thrones, right? So like George R.R. Martin, basically, they told him like this is too many characters, blah blah blah. But this fucker ended up proving them right. You know what I mean? Like he never finished the damn thing. So Don't get too cocky. You know what I'm saying? He might have, but at the same time, he also made his wealth off of it. So there's a million ways to look at it. But if I'm making money off of Magic Powder, like say I ever did make $1 million, or I don't even know how many millions that fucker made. But like it would just give me more money to make more Magic Powder. That's all, or maybe buy a house so I can live in while I make Magic Powder. So I have to move every
not a house, just a building with a bedroom and an office.
just a little box that's a bedroom. No, totally, man. Like I don't even need much. That's the thing. So like I just need a little private space and I'm happy. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm excited. And it's like one of those things too. I see like Robert Kirkman's always getting sued by his artists and stuff like that. Like if I made a bunch of money, like obviously Danielle's gonna make a bunch of money. You know what I mean? Like you got to cut in the team. Like hopefully he would want to still do it even after he made money too. But like I said, then you just find another artist. Like that's the game. Like it's not like look at like you said, like Marvel itself. Like Punisher's been done by how many people? Hulk's been done by how many people? So like you're able to do it. So I'm not really too worried about losing artists. But personally, I don't want to. But that's the game. So
I don't want you to either.
Killer Wi-Fi is key.
Danielle's art, like I just like you, and you say it every time you share a page when they send it to you. It's just like you're just like every time I look at it, it blows me away. And any fan of Magic Powder, every time they look at those pages, and I like that. It's funny that you said like they don't talk to you much, right? But you guys do have a working relationship. You vibe well, I think, right? And you work well together. And you always you have a great fulfillment track record, and you're fast. A long time ago, I really liked something. It wasn't that long ago, but a while back, you said something like people came up to you and they were like, Jeff, like my campaigns don't make as much money as this. Like, how do you like guarantee this? And you're like, guys, I always have a $5 digital issue on every campaign. I don't
actually
charge
used
more
to
than
be
that.
less than $5. Like this is the first time I actually put it this high. Usually,
oh really?
Like last campaign, I believe it was $3.
Oh shit!
So like I usually try to make it as cheap as possible. Like for the first issue of Elf with No Name, I don't have a lot of extra stuff to sell, so I kind of had to put it up a couple of dollars. But I would imagine when I do, and like with Magic Powder 5, I'll probably do $4, because inflation. But for real though, like it's just because you got to give them the option. Like because a lot of people even like John, for instance, like he loves Magic Powder, but he gets the digital one. I usually get digital ones when I buy from people because I don't know where I'm going to be in 6 months. So when they send me the comic, I need to be able to get it. So I usually buy that one so I can get the email version. Like even Full Tilt I got from Jason, and I'm excited about it, but I'm gonna have to hit him up and be like, yo man, send it to this address because I'm not, and I don't even know where that address is yet, so I can't hit him up yet. But I
have to hit him up too because I was broke during that campaign. I really want the book, and I'm really hoping he really liked coming on my show, and I think he likes me. He talks to me sometimes online.
Usually he'll block you if he does not want you around. So he straight blocks motherfuckers. Like he's not allowed to follow him if he don't like you. So I'm pretty sure he likes you. Yeah.
But I want to hit him up because I know he lives in Canada, and
I don't even know that he lives in Canada.
Yeah, I'll gladly pay that extra shipping to get a physical copy of that. But
for some reason Canadian shipping to us is not that bad because I even got my man Raymond's thing right here, Fallen #2. That's straight out of Canada. Nice. And I got Fallen 1 also. And I even got Trachovia out of Canada, when that was on Kickstarter. Now it's not a Kickstarter anymore. So I don't know where it's at. I mean, I know I can get it off of the internet. Holy crap, I think.
Kate, when we said that all you need is a room, a bedroom, and an office, K-pop says all she needs is a window and killer Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
The window? Baby. For to smoke, or like an escape route, or what's the...
Give him some Tim Hortons, he said. Those Canadians love them donuts and them coffees.
Yeah. No, that's funny. But yeah, it's it's been cool to see you grow, man, and stay still stay Jeff, right?
I don't think there's any change in me, man. I'm already this mess of a person. There ain't no fixing it. You know what I mean? I'm built in this way.
Some things have changed. I mean, I still think I'm very much like the Blake who started, but I'm also a Blake that I learned not to take as, I don't like taking shit as much as I used to, and I'm learning that I learned to say no when I got too busy, which I used to be scared to do. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's some people get really, really cocky, and it kind of, these new people that come out with kind of like edgier personas, and I see it working for them, right? I see them like generating way more engagement than even I generate. But it's like at a cost. And it, but it's, I don't know, indie comic Twitter reminds me of like the WWE kind of right now. I don't know a lot about wrestling, but there's like good guys and bad guys, and there's like the veterans that are like, let me teach you young kids some things, and then they're like, no, fuck you, and they're like hitting people with chairs, and it's like, I don't know, man, it's a weird environment, and it's interesting to watch, and
I
and
feel
I
like
I
I miss a
sometimes I
lot.
get involved with people that I'm like, I don't want to be part of this conversation. Like it's
Yeah.
like you were on this guy's show and they said something mean to me, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I was fucking hammered, and I don't even remember being there's seriously, man. I got on a stream one night, and I drank a bottle of whiskey, and I did not remember going to bed. I didn't
Oh, I've
remember leaving.
seen you do that before.
Yeah, and like I was just up and playing on Twitter, and someone was like, Blake's drunk, like come hang out with
Yeah,
us. And then
come
the
goof
next
around. Yeah.
the next day, like my DMs are like, I can't believe you had a conversation with my enemy, and I was like, what is happening? Like, no, I don't. I was like, there's there's good people on both sides, all right. Now it's just like,
Oh God. Yeah, no, my thing is like I see a lot on Twitter because I follow comic creators, I follow comic readers, stuff like that. But I don't
yeah,
just follow everybody who makes comics. You know what I mean? So like
yeah,
there's a lot of times where I'll see people say like, oh, there's the drama in comics Twitter today, or I can't believe this. Or I'll see people like making like some sub tweet at something and I have no freaking idea what the hell they're talking about. And I don't care. You know what I mean? Then I just tweet
people
about
hit
magic
me
powder.
up now. Like there
Yeah.
have been several people that like message me, and they're like,
What do you think about
what
this?
what is the like what are they talking about? And I'm like,
Trying to
why?
figure it out.
Like
Yeah.
when did I become the fucking drama king of like, I
You
try
got
to
that
stay out of
tea,
that
boy.
shit. But
They
then
want
also,
to
but yeah,
know.
also I'm like, I know a lot of people, right? And unfortunately, a lot of times I am like, all right, so this person said this, and then this person said this, and then
Just
this
giving
person
it
got
up.
on a live stream and said this, and then this person found someone's tweet from like 8 years ago.
And like
So
I
it's
said,
like,
that is very much like pro wrestling Twitter right there.
yeah,
Because
right?
like every pro wrestler like somehow sticks their foot in their mouth on Twitter, and like that's what
Yeah.
happens. But like, yeah, I mean, to me, I don't give a shit about people's drama. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is like, if you don't read my comics or support my comics, I don't give a fuck that you exist. So it's one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's yeah. And if like, and the people who do create comics that do back my comics, like I follow those people and stuff, and I don't really
Yeah.
ever see them getting in nothing. Like I never seen John in no drama or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Raymond in no drama.
John Westhoff is
Edwin, you
well,
know,
John
like all these
Westhoff talks
dudes.
shit to me a lot.
Yeah,
I don't
John.
I
John
like
comes to me with like stuff like advice and stuff, and like that's it. Like I'm more offended than he would be talking to some, you know what I mean, like something like that. Like I said, like the
yeah.
14 days thing. I'm not doing 14 days, but like you know that kind of thing. But other than that, like, but he's also the guy that taught me how to fucking ship from my house. Like he's the one that told me like how
Oh,
to use
nice.
pirate ship with media mail. He's the one that told me. I'm pretty sure about the export rate for international shipping. He's the one that told me which printer to buy, all that stuff. So like, yeah, John, like, so like, I get why he's good to get advice from. So like, it's one of those things. Like, you're not always gonna get advice from people that you agree with, but you at least gotta, you know who to respect the opinion of. So that's cool. But like I said, yeah, I just don't follow anyone who gets into that stuff. Like there were certain times, like maybe at the beginning, where I followed somebody and I seen they were kind of like a rage bait motherfucker or something like that. But then I don't follow them no more. You know what I'm saying? So if that's who you are and I don't follow you anymore, that's probably why. You know what I'm saying? Like there's probably people out there who like, I don't get why this guy doesn't follow me and stuff like that. It's because you suck. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because like, or you don't follow me back. So that's your fucking problem. I'm cooler
Right?
than you.
Yeah.
If you don't follow me, you're not cooler than me. So whatever. I'm not gonna follow you. Like, oh wow, well you're impressed. Like I don't follow famous people. I follow people that follow me. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, out of the 700 people I follow, they all follow me back. Because I'm not on Twitter to like see what fucking Christians. I don't know who, like, I don't know who does what, like, David Simon or what, like, I don't know. I'm not there for that kind of crap. I don't care about any of that. Maybe sports news once in a while, but even now without all the, the actual blue check marks, like it makes sports news all fake now anyway, you know what I mean? Or I seen someone getting work like, oh, this show got canceled, stuff like that. Like people fall for the fucking, like, whatever, man. Like Twitter is just a mess. But to me, it's all about like, if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you, and that's it. If you're not cool with me, then I don't care about you. That's
See,
it.
I'm such a cheese dick and some of that stuff, man. I think way too hard Like if I followed someone for a while, or not even that long sometimes, or if I follow someone and then I'm like, I don't really want to follow this person anymore, and then I get all in my head about like, should I unfollow them or just like mute them and ignore them or like block them, and it's even weirder sometimes when there's like some people when you have like a lot of mutuals and stuff, and it's like, what are these people gonna think if I don't follow this person anymore? I'm like laying in bed at night and I'm like, why am I
I've never been there.
like I am busy. I'm a busy person. I'm
Yeah, you don't have
busier
time
now
for
than
this shit.
I've ever been in my life before, right? And I'm like freaking out about like I had to draft a marketing strategy for
Ooh,
Metal Ninja for
right,
our
hell
new
yeah.
Kickstarter campaign. Guess what I've never ever done before, Jeff? Write any kind of marketing strategy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never done it at all.
Uh,
I've done some copy and
and
stuff,
so
but
I
not
kind of
marketing.
like I did some like I did like Googled some marketing campaign write ups and I thought of it, and I turned it in and my boss really liked it. But like I'm like laying in bed like stressing about that, and then out of nowhere stressing about like what someone said, or and I'm just like, why am I thinking about social media right now? Why am I?
But I
And
mean, like a
it
lot of
sucks.
your
Like
job is social media. So
yeah,
I get it. Even mine is. Like, don't get me wrong. Because there's times like I'm like you, but not so much after I do it. But like in the moment, I'm like, should I unfollow this motherfucker? There's
yeah,
definitely that goes on because like I said, like I'll be following people for a while, but like say I do 3 Kickstarter campaigns, they haven't liked or retweeted any of them.
then
Bye,
yeah,
bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I following you for? We ain't friends. You ain't my friend. You ain't putting me over. I definitely put you over if I see your shit. And then they're gonna
yeah,
be like, well, with the algorithm, I didn't see your thing, and blah blah blah. Listen, bro. Listen. You know it's out there. I know everybody knows it's out there. So
yeah.
whatever. I'm not playing that stupid game. You know what I'm saying? Like I
I
don't
think
care.
that's played out too. I feel like the algorithm is
The
like
excuse.
the new sorry I
I
can't
got
fuck I
hacked.
like I
Yeah.
got it's just like, oh no, the algorithm, man. Like the cop that pulled me over is like, you're going like 80 and a 65. Oh, dude, the algorithm, man. I
The
couldn't see my
algorithm.
phone. Like what are you talking about?
The way of the flow of the car, you gotta go with the algorithm. But no, for real though, and I guess technically there's a bunch of ways to look at the term algorithm. But like, yeah, no, it's definitely a bunch of bullshit, and people are not putting you over either because they're jealous or they're dickheads or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So like I said, I'm not around for that. Like you said, like I don't care if you make comics and I make comics. That's not a reason for us to be friends.
yeah,
We're friends if you put over my comic and I put over your comic. And like I said, you don't have to buy my comic, but if I'm following you and I'm retweeting your crap and you're not gonna retweet my crap, then I'm not following you anymore. It's that simple. It's a give and take. Like I don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe me nothing. So that's it. Play it even.
Sarah Landauer remains the iconic innocent comic creator, and I feel like she's the one that like Twitter hasn't broken yet, or so. Like
Yeah, like I would say Sarah isn't even really on Twitter like that. You know what I mean? Like
she's
Sarah
smart
puts
about it.
yeah, they put out their comic and stuff like that. But other than that, sometimes I'll see Sarah talk about work or something like that. Or I know that they're in California. So like, yeah, I think Sarah's like dealing with the storm and stuff. And I guess they had an earthquake yesterday. And I'm over here in Vegas, so we had a little bit of rain. I get that. But like, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Sarah in any kind of drama on Twitter. But like I said, I don't really see any drama on Twitter because I don't follow this type of people. So
Yeah.
thank God for Sarah.
I don't doom scroll much anymore. Partly because you can't. If you scroll too much,
they'll
or
take
too many
your
DMs, it freezes your fucking account.
I
But
still can't believe how this guy purposely ruined our lives.
dude, it's crazy, and it sucks. Like the other day, I was DMing clients on Twitter and like talking about campaigns and stuff, and had a few conversations going, and it locked my DMs. And then I've got clients coming to me that are worried about like, well, what are you doing other than Twitter? And I'm like, well, I'm on the other social media platforms and like trying to do Facebook groups. I got Facebook mods up my ass. I just left a group today because some fucking mod was like, can you make posts that are actually beneficial? And I'm like, I really wanted to be like,
Facebook groups are the worst.
I really wanted to be like, motherfucker, I get paid to make this. You are commenting to me for free on your own fucking time, telling me to do my job better. Like, eat 5.5 dicks and call me in the morning. Cause like I ended up just saying like, I just ended up saying like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like just being nice about it. Right?
I really, dude, I was kind of steaming over it. I was like, I'm gonna let this fucker have it. Like I'm just gonna like, you know who I am?
Yeah, I never put it back, but like I'll do the opposite. Like you said, like I'll be mad or whatever sometimes, but I never put it out there Because why even bother? You know what I'm saying? Like all it's gonna do is leave, a trail of you being a dick to somebody.
Yeah,
It's just not
and
even
then
worth it.
someone will fucking find it 10, 12 years later and post it on your job Twitters. Like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like I've done, I've tweeted a lot in the last 15 years over multiple accounts. So like, yeah, I mean, pretty sure I haven't tweeted anything I have to ever worry about. But I mean, who knows, man? I've said so many things about the Yankees sucking, or whatever, the Rangers sucking, or whatever. But I feel like, if I don't think I ever said anything too offensive other than they were a bunch of bitches. Like it'd be one thing, like, you meet somebody that you kind of like or whatever, and then someone's like, oh, but what about that time you talk shit about them on Twitter? And it's like, so I don't even try to like talk shit about famous people or anything. I just try not to talk shit at all. I'm like, if I like something, I'm gonna tweet about it. Like, oh, I'm watching King of the Hill. This is funny. I'll make a GIF or something. Like I literally just talk about shit I like. And that's why I see people retweeting people and trying to like dunk on them, or retweeting people being like, this guy sucks. And I'm like, why are you doing free advertising for these fucking assholes? Like, I don't get it. Because now I've seen this and I didn't want to see it. And you didn't want me to see it, but you put it on the timeline anyway. Like, I don't get it. So I see a bunch of jerk offs I don't even want to see because the people I like tweet at them. And then I'll even like sometimes be like, why'd you do that? Well, the people I like don't care that I'm doing, or the people that follow me would never support this person. But I'm like, how could you know that? Like, you could never know that. Like, that's so ridiculous. You're just doing free advertising for someone you don't like, bro. You got worked. You got work. You don't want to admit it, but you got work, dog. And that's the reality of it. So stop getting worked, everybody. It's embarrassing. But yeah, other than that, support who you like. Do not support who you don't like, because if you do that, you're an idiot. That's what I think. And I see it so much.
Don't be an idiot.
Don't be a fucking idiot. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an idiot. It's two things. And like usually the people are being an asshole to the person while they're being an idiot. So it's like it's a double whammy. But whatever. I mean, go through my fucking tweets right now and see how much shit I talk.
You definitely need to do a slice of life or a real life sports collar, or you know what you would kill for, dude? Like if you had like, I'm not trying to tell you what to write, but I'm kind of trying to tell you what to write. But I like if you wrote like a bowling comic that just had like
I actually have an idea with
dialogue between like the bowling teams, right? Like, I mean, just the way you write.
Ronan's like, sorry, because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because the other day he did it, and I was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro? But like, it's not even just him though. He's like the only person like I actually brought it up to, because I'm like, I actually like talking to Ronan. But like, I've just unfollowed people usually. Like, when they do that stuff? I'm like, why are they putting this shit on my tongue? It's like, people who always like trying to dunk on like politicians. Like, bro, you're getting worked. That's
they don't
it.
care.
They don't. First of all, they're not even the ones running the account. But like, and then you have these other assholes who like are political, like, I don't know, critics or something, and like you just see them all the time, like making their jokes, like, oh, this guy sucks, and blah blah. I'm like, dog, that guy's not making any change for anybody other than getting paid off of like all these people. They're all joke, man. If you're a political pundit, you're an asshole. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just embarrassing, man. The whole thing just sucks. But like I said, I don't, like I said, go through my timeline. Tell me who I'm talking shit to, because I don't talk shit to nobody. If I don't like you, I ignore you. That's how it works.
No, you've always been smart with social media. That's one of the things I kind of wanted to ask you about too, because like with everything being so different and how so many of us got used to relying on Twitter as a means to like communicate with each other, but also as a means to like communicate the products we're putting out and the content we're putting out. How is this campaign changed? Like you said, like the podcasts are filling up a lot quicker. It's a little bit trickier to book. And you're playing around on Reddit and the Facebook groups and dealing with those fucking mods. God damn it! Like the
Reddit mods are hard too. Facebook and Reddit are like not good for us. But sometimes you get in. Sometimes you find a little spot to let you in.
And I heard like the trial and error, right? And then, but when you find that little spot, like sometimes it hits.
It can blow up. Yeah, sometimes it can. Like I seen Chris posted on that R Comics instead of R Comic Books with his thing, and it blew up. And a lot of people were trying to like talk shit, like, "Oh, this is porn," or whatever. Don't you guys know you can get porn for free? Blah blah blah. But I mean, it had thousands of likes, so I mean, he got some views out of that. I probably got backers and everything. You know what I mean? So like, and I posted on there with Alpha No Name with no controversial content, and so it probably got like 100 likes. You know what I mean? Or not even, probably got like 50. And so like that's fine, but like his controversy, created cat. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
Free advertisement. That's I can't even, dude. I got 3 upvotes in a laptop thread on Reddit the other day because I posted a new charger I bought when someone asked about chargers, and I was like, I got this, and I was like, it was like 40 when I bought it, and now it's like 26. And I got like 3 upvotes, and I was like, yeah. And then, but like when I post comics and stuff, the people are like, can you wait? Can you delete this and repost it on Thursday? And then like
Yeah, exactly.
then I forget to post it on Thursday because I have shit going on.
Yeah, because
But
like
yeah,
one of those
I
indie
just
comic ones is definitely like you can only self-promote on the one day, so I don't even go
yeah
to that anymore. I'm like, because like you said, I don't remember what day it is. I'm like, then I'm an asshole and they take my stuff off. But no, as far as it goes, Twitter is still the most banging thing for me.
and you've
Right
got a good
now,
mailing list by now too, right?
yeah,
Like
and even that,
pretty
it's all
decent.
people from Twitter, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like Twitter is everything. So like the fact that this jerk off doesn't even let Twitter, it doesn't even exist anymore. It's not even called Twitter anymore. It's gone. He took away a word that people used that it didn't even exist until this motherfucking site came around. And he ruined all of the goodwill around it and everything else, and all on purpose. Like whoever funded him, like I don't believe this was even his money that was put into it. I believe it was Saudi Arabia and whoever else, whatever, whoever
Yeah.
backed him so they could ruin, you know, our communication. Like and the whole world was using this to get out. Like, how do you think Jamal Khashoggi got out? Because of Twitter. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff. So like, yeah, this is all just rich people taking away the means from the people. That's all it is, man. And it's over and over and over. And people are like, ah, ha, ha, Elon, you're so stupid. Ha, ha. No, motherfucker, you're stupid because you think he's stupid. Like, this is all part of the game. Like, you're getting played again. You're getting worked again. Like, yo, don't reply to fucking Elon. Don't do any of that. But there they are. Oh, you're dumb, Elon. I'm smarter than you. Like, yeah, dog, go work your fucking $4 job. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're not smarter than the guy who played you. That's not how it works. But anyway, we all got screwed by this jerk off, and we're all getting fucked by it. And it's still the best thing out there, sadly. Like, I got 33 backers straight from Twitter, like another 20-some that says external refers, which is mostly people probably seen the stupid picture on Twitter, typed it into Kickstarter. And then all the ones who, like, people watched your campaign and back and came from the emails and stuff like that are also people from old ones from Twitter. Like, yeah, man, Twitter was my entire source, basically. So, like, when you say, you know, start doing some convention and stuff, like, yeah, I got to, because this jerk off ruined this. And Blue Skies is cool, but, you know, it's like 2008 Twitter. It's 2008 Twitter. It's not 2020 Twitter. So it's definitely way behind. Like, people are on there talking about fucking and shit. They're not on there trying to buy comic books. So it is what it is.
I noticed that too. I stumbled into the red sky, like
the green door or whatever.
I wasn't like mad about it. I was just like, whoa, this is a whole different world over here. But yeah, it's interesting, and we're all having to adapt. And like I said the other night with Jonathan Hedrick, it's a bummer because Twitter meant a lot to me and like my platform, and it's how I met you. It's how I met like Sarah. It's how like K-pop,
Sarah,
all these Ronan, all these
everybody in here, bro. That Funny Figs, bro. Like everybody.
Yeah, like I met like legit friends that I haven't met in real life yet, but that like if I had a bad day or if I say something weird on like they will DM me and ask if I'm okay, right? Like a
bro,
real
even
friend does.
The job I have right now, right? I got from my buddy Chris. So I'm working or whatever. I met him because like in 2008 when I started my Twitter, or it was like 2008, so going into the 2009 season, whatever. So the Yankees won the World Series, and my boy Craig, I found him on this guy Craig Law. I started following him during the Yankees thing, and so in 2012 or whatever, like me and Craig played video games online all the time for a few years, like on Twitter. And then in 2012, he was working for THQ or whatever. He sent me to California to meet him and everybody at THQ for like a SummerSlam thing because they were making like WWE 12 at the time. So I got to go to that event, meet all these guys. So that's where I met Chris. That's where I met this guy Aubrey, who I used to do a podcast with. A bunch of other guys who like a few other guys who do like Deadlock Pro Wrestling. I met all those dudes there. You know, and it's like those are people like now Chris. I've known Chris since 2012, so over 10 years now. We've worked on video games before. He's back to all my like he's got me jobs. Like I visit him in college. Like, and these are like actual like he's like basically my best friend at this point in my life. And like I met him on Twitter. You know, I met him because of Twitter. I didn't meet him on Twitter. I met Craig on Twitter. Whatever. But like yeah, even tons of stuff like wrestling. Some of the events I've been to, and like I met people or like say I was at WrestleMania the one time because I used to do a thing called Toy Spotting. That was my thing. And so that was like the account and everything like that. So I got to go to WrestleMania and stuff. And like people like I met Tony Pizza Guy. He's all, you know, we all got sent to the same thing. He's like, why the fuck are you here, man? I got like however many followers on this and that. And then someone's like, hey, Tony Pizza. And they're like, oh shit, Toy Spotting while they were talking to Tony. And then way more excited to talk to me. And I go, that's why I'm fucking here, bro. And that was it, bro. Like it's one of those things. Like, but at the same, I love Tony and whatever. And he's a great. Like, I had met Tony like basically that day, and he won a Ringside Collectibles like thing, and he won a toy, like a wrestling toy. We were all there, and I was the toy spot guy, so he actually gave me the toy and everything after he won it and shit. Like Tony's a great guy, but like I was just breaking his balls at the time because he was breaking my balls and shit. But yeah, man. Like so, like without Twitter, I don't know what the fuck my last like 10 years of life would have been like. I wouldn't have experienced a lot of things, man. I did a lot of cool stuff, and like
That's
now it's
awesome.
gone. It's all gone. Like, I don't know if it's all gone because I've made those connections and I still have the friends and stuff. But like it's all gone for other people to ever make those connections and stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's changing.
sucks.
I keep hoping like maybe it'll go back, but there's been a
even
lot of
if
damage done.
he can like sell it eventually, whatever, and whenever whatever, write it off as bankrupt. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with it, but yeah, it's never gonna be the same. All the goodwill has been changed and stuff. Like I'm still always gonna use it as long as I have 9,000 followers or whatever. But it don't mean nothing anymore. You know what I mean? Like all those friends, you have to take them with you, or whatever. It's like that's why Blue Sky is cool. That's why having an email is cool and stuff like that. Facebook, which sucks. Like, that's the thing is like I don't like even like Jason's like, oh fuck Amazon. He's not wrong, but what the fuck else is it? You know what I mean? I don't want to go to Walmart, bro, but that's what it is. Like it is what it is. Like I don't get to decide. Like there's only one internet provider. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you got to use. Like it is what it is. The monopoly sucks, and like it is. But I'm not gonna go live on the sidewalk. Like so it's just the whole thing.
Yeah, sucks. like the idea of going off the grid like sounds like, because I've seen like those videos of like people that live off the grid and they have like rain collectors and they have like the Wi-Fi beam antennas that they have to like aim at these towers, and they have like live in the middle of the woods with a generator and have like a full gaming PC set up like in their tiny home. And I'm like, okay, but I was like, I don't think I could. Like, I mean, like the idea sounds cool, but like, when we get done talking, what I'm probably gonna order Taco Bell from Grubhub because I'm addicted to Taco Bell.
Not a bad idea.
And it's too hot to cook. Like our air conditioner is like struggling to keep up right now because it's so hot.
Yeah, because most of the places that are getting this hot now aren't built for this. Yeah. Like it's nuts, man.
So
and
I can just order some food and have it drop. And like that's.
Plus, you're giving somebody a tip and stuff. Like they're working that job. They need that money. So it's not like you're not helping the person delivering. So I mean, like, there's a bunch of ways to look at it. I mean, as long as you are someone who tips and stuff. But like, it's just
I do
like,
tip. I was in the service industry for a long time.
I'm not worried about it. I know you usually bounce and everything. Like, I know the whole story. So like, I mean, but then there's people out there that don't tip, and that's insane.
There's
like, walk to the damn store and pick up your own food then, bro. But yeah, like I don't know. The whole thing, like life in general is just nuts. The world sucks. The economy sucks. Everything sucks. So the fact that people are actually putting money into my comic book and shit like that means even more to me than it ever could in any other situation. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another thing. Like, people will tell you, like, oh, maybe don't do a Kickstarter because people don't have money and stuff like that. But then you see, like, Good Omens Kickstarter or whatever, breaking records and stuff like that. Like, there's money out there if you have a big enough audience. Like, not everybody has money. Like I said, like, not every campaign everyone can back, even if they want to. But eventually, those people will maybe have the $10 to catch up or whatever the fuck, Or like, there's a lot of times, like, if you want my comic book and you don't have money, hit me up. I'll just send you a fucking copy. It's really not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, everybody else has already supported us enough to where it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to read Magic Powder, like, it's gonna help me more that you are into it than the $3 or whatever the fuck you're gonna give me. So, like, yeah, it's not about the money for me. It's about giving my artists their fair cut until, like I said, maybe it'll blow up, maybe it won't blow up. But as long as we keep going, I'm happy. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Hit up Jeff. He'll give you free content. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not even joking. I'm not even fucking joking. Like, it's not even a joke. I say it all the time. Like, if you do not have money and you want to read it, hit me up. It's free for me to send you a goddamn digital copy. Like, it don't matter. Like, you ain't gonna get physical copies, but like, I'll send you some digital copies. Like,
you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that GTA 4 variant.
No, you'll have the digital image of it. You can enjoy it in even better quality. Actually, that's the thing. Like, I love physical comics, but honestly, I'm more of a digital guy. So it is what it is. Like, it's because like as a guy who moves all the time and stuff like that, it's a pain in the ass.
Dude, I bet. I bet it's like I bet it's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine moving with all the book. My sister doesn't even have half of the shit that I do, and a lot of her shit is still here. Even though
totally. Like, even like, look at all the stupid toys behind me and stuff like that. Like, even that, like, it's just like collecting things is it's kind of a burden. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun and stuff when you have somewhere to put stuff, but when you don't have somewhere to put it, it's like fuck. Or if you're someone who buys stuff, you don't have the money to, you know what I mean? Like, don't be spending money you don't have on things, and then you have to sell it. So that sucks too. Or sometimes you can't forecast like the future and stuff. Like, it's just a million ways to look at it. But like I said, if you don't have money and you want to read my shit, just hit me up. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's cool with me. And I ain't even a joke. Just hit me up. And then hit me up privately too. Don't put yourself on blast, whatever. I don't give a shit. But like, yeah.
No, you have to publicly shame
yourself. You have to put yourself in front of everybody in the town square in some stocks, and then you can ask me. But yeah, other than that, but like, yeah, I really don't like. I don't care about sharing it. Like I said, I'm happy it exists. I'm happy that people want to read it. Like, I don't know, the whole thing, man. It just makes me happy. But yeah, what doesn't make me happy is just how hard it is out here for human beings, bro. And it's all because of other human beings, and that shit pisses me off. And then it's like, you know, you see all these poor kids being born into this shit, and I'm like, how the fuck are these kids gonna grow up in this world, man? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel real bad about all, like, if all this, like, you know, global warming stuff is as true as it feels like it is, then we're fucked. So I don't know who's bringing more people to be fucked, but it ain't me.
Dude, it's like, some of my friends are as we've gotten older, a couple of my friends have gotten a little more conservative than like they used to be, and it's like, but I love them, right? So it's like I can't get rid of you now. You know, they're still not like they like didn't vote for Trump, but like
thank God. But yeah.
But you know, like,
but they're like, he's not that bad.
Yeah,
they'll
right.
Say like shit like that, or it's kind of funny, right? Like, oh my God, bro.
And
or DeSantis, that was funny when he shipped those people to Boston. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Shit, man. But I really have cut off a lot of people in the last few years.
Yeah, it's, like, I mean, you got to.
Because I won't, like, you know,
put up with toxicity. But I was
totally.
Say,
like, like, oh, let's go, man. Yeah, fuck off.
They're even starting to say like my buddies fish, and they're like, dude, the water levels are so low, man. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Like, and he's like,
thanks, Obama.
Like, this shit's, yeah. And it's like, he's like, this shit's real. Like that global, and I, like, yeah, I know it's real, dude. Like, duh.
Maybe Al Gore wasn't so stupid after all. Yeah, and it's like Ronan said, sure you can, because he ain't wrong, bro. Like, motherfuckers deserve to be cut off. That's the only way they're gonna learn, man. And it's like even family members and stuff. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, you know, my dad is like one of these guys, and the most embarrassing thing is like he likes him, blah 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 blah, and his ass won't even go support him. Like, you know, he don't even vote. So I'm like, you don't even count. Like, who cares what you have to say? You don't even go vote for this motherfucker. So just shut the fuck up and don't tell me about it anymore. But like, yeah, man, that shit's embarrassing, and like the fact that I have to share a name with somebody who even thinks like that disgusts me. So whatever, man.
I don't have anyone. I don't have anyone like that. Luckily, like,
no,
well,
I do.
not in my close knit people. Like I've definitely had like. We got like some conspiracy theorist family Facebook posters.
My dad's always been like into conspiracy theories, but I never thought he'd be like some bootlicking bitch. That's two different things, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's always been like, the moon landing was fake and stuff like that. 9/11 was Saudi Arabia, blah blah. Like, I mean, it's whatever. But like this fucking shit, man, being like, Trump's changing the game, he's different, blah blah blah. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, I know you love racism, dude, but you're embarrassing. Fucking. So girl, I'm not racist. I have a black friend. Like, yeah, exactly.
Oh my God,
Christ.
I hate when white people say
that. Like, man, my dad's the worst. And the thing is, like, you know, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm fucking, you know, Yugoslavian. That doesn't even exist anymore. Like, back in the day, like, if you go real far back, I think one of my grandparents is like Jewish and stuff like that. And my dad is comes from immigrants, and he's over here like talking about immigrants coming to this country and shit. I'm like, bro, you wouldn't even be here. Like, you understand this shit?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't no fucking, like, you think you're a white person, but you're not even a white person to white people. They don't consider you white. Like, you're a fucking piece of shit to them too, bro. Like, the whole thing is hilarious. Like, he doesn't understand, like, it's a class thing, or he thinks he understands it, but then he'll just say racist shit all the time. Like, it's just, and this is my fucking dad, bro. Like, it sucks. It sucks. And, like, that's the one person I've tried to cut him off, but then he always comes crawling back. And he'll, like, he knows my social security number and stuff like that, so he tries to, like, oh, don't even get me going, bro. I fucking hate it. So, like, yeah, if you think you can't cut these people out of your life, fuck them. They can be cut out of your life. And that's about that, bro. I don't got nothing nice to say about those kinds of people. Anyone who supports fucking pieces of shit are a piece of shit, and that's that.
Yeah, you got to be a special kind of turd to some boots shouldn't be licked.
No boots should be fucking licked.
And they love the taste of that fucking leather.
Because I've never had a favorite politician. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's guys that make a point, you agree with whatever. But I've never been like, this is my guy. This is my, I'm wearing his shirt like it's a team. I'm going to go rep that. Like, there's Derek Jeter is Derek Jeter, bro. Like, fucking Joe Biden's not Derek Jeter. Donald Trump's not Derek Jeter. Like, and even that, Derek Jeter ain't even shit outside of baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like, he played baseball well. That's fine, man. He's kind of a charisma-less motherfucker outside of that. But it is what it is. I still love him for what he did on the field. But I don't care, you know what I mean? But like I said, like, supporting people who you know are out there just to fuck people. Even like I said, buying stuff from Disney when you know who they give their money to. Buying stuff from WB. Like, you know what I mean? That's one thing you want to pirate their crap, but just to talk shit about it or something like that. But people are literally going and supporting these people when they could be supporting actual people who need their help. Like, I don't know, man. It blows my mind the way people act with their money, the way people act with their voting, the way people act with their everything, man. I just can't. That's why I don't like humans. I tell you, I'm not a human guy. That's not it. I'm ready for the aliens.
Yeah, dude, same. But even now that we kind of like they basically said like they're real, I still don't think.
Yeah, that's
I
just a
still think
distraction too. It's all
I still think they came here and were like, no, fuck these people. You
My
know, like
thing is, I feel like it's almost like they live is the actual truth, and it's like Elon Musk and all these other motherfuckers have to be aliens to do this kind of stuff to their fellow human beings, because like there's no way as a human being you could actually like act against human beings so much. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it, because like what's he gonna do? Move to space? Like this planet is fucked, and like he could, you know, it is what it is, bro. Like I don't know, it's crazy. I mean, humans are nuts. So like I said, either all these people who are screwing us over, all these gas guzzling motherfuckers, all the people who own Ford and all, you know what I mean, Exxon,
they're all
either they're
people.
fucking aliens or human beings ain't worth shit anyway. We need to go. One or the other.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. Like, because even if half the people are cool, the other half ain't never gonna let us enjoy it anyway. So it is what it is, bro. Like it just sucks.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Even
watching this King of the Hill shit. Like, you know, these motherfuckers would have been voting Bush. They even talk about voting Bush and shit like that, man. Fuck all that. Like, it ain't cool. Like, it's funny because they're stupid as shit. That's the whole idea. Like, these are some dumb motherfuckers. Like, yeah, get it? Not like they were right. They were dumb. Like, Bobby was right. Bobby was right all the time. His dad was a fucking hillbilly asshole. So, like, yeah, it's one of those things, man. Even like Mr. Conspiracy. I got wearing it for Dale. You know, my man Rusty Shackelford passed away the other day. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, overall, it's like, you know, Mike Judge is making fun of these fucking people. He's not saying be these people. And it's like, you know, I think, you know, and becoming conservative when you get older, like, bro, that's just racist. That's what that is. You're being a real racist now. Because, like, you know, you didn't realize, like, oh, I didn't know I could take advantage of these. I don't know. It's just gross, man. Because, like you said, people our age, when we were growing up, we all went to the same schools together, everything like that. But now everybody, even, like, I know people who, like, listen to nonstop rap. That's all they listen to. They love it. And then, like, they'll just talk shit about black people. And I'm like, how do you relate to their music and then talk shit to them? Like, I don't get any of it. I don't get anything, man. Like, I don't get anything about people at all. They're all hypocrites and contradictory and everything. No one makes sense, I guess. So, buy my comics.
Yeah, nothing makes sense. Everybody's a hypocrite, but what you can do
but
is
support
back
me,
the elf with no name.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to pick your favorites anyway. So pick me. That's what I say. Boom. But yeah, man, the whole thing sucks. There ain't no answers.
I'm so glad I don't have a lot of anti-vaxxer stuff in my brain. That shit was so weird. Oh my god.
Even where I'm living now, right? So this is where I lived when I got my vaccines, and the people that live here don't got no vaccines. So this is what it is, bro. Like, it is what it is. All I know is a bunch of fucking morons. And that's why, like, you know, there's 3 people I know that are kind of cool, I guess. But, like, none of them really live in Vegas. Most of my Vegas friends that I grew up with, they turned into fucking dumbasses. They got lazy and stupid and, you know, there's nothing even to talk about, you know? It's gross. Yeah. There's some people, though, that are out there that are still doing their thing. Like, my boy Mike's doing his thing and stuff. But, man, some people... It just sucks. Like, how many friends? Because, like, you know, as you grow up, you're going to lose your friends because of kids and this and that. Nah, man. All those people were still my friends until they started saying crazy shit about other people that had no business talking about. Like, it's not even your business and you're judging these people. That's what I don't get.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird world, man. And that's another reason why, like, the whole Twitter deal sucks, because I feel like we had a cool community. We still have a pretty cool community.
Yeah, we're
like,
good.
It's, you know, like, it's
going to be hard to get new people in our community. That's the
exactly.
Like, we have a good community. It's hard to grow it. That's the thing.
Exactly.
But like, man. I think we'll be good, man. It's just like, sorry we got to this part of the conversation, everybody. But like, fuck, man. This is why I don't do podcasts anymore, because I'm too sad, man.
No, man, that's people can say what they want to say about me and my show, but I do think a lot of people will watch us. Like, hey, most of them like comics, I think, but I mean, I think people like that. Like, we talk about, we go off the rails, but even when we go out, like, it's real, it's us, it's genuine, right? It's you know, it's not a bunch of shit talking hot takes, and you know what. If we do have hot takes, it's because
I'm kind of a hot take machine. I don't know. I am a bit of a hot take machine, and so that is true. Like, I'll say shit people don't say and stuff, but at the same time, like, you know, tell me to stop. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I'm not.
No, it doesn't. Like, no, it is. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm just not worried about it. I got all this white privilege. I can say whatever I want. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
I'm invincible. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man, life is just crazy, bro. But like I said, like, thanks for having me on. Like, even that kind of stuff. Like, because like I said, it's been hard to even find podcasts to be on. So, like, yeah. And then, like, I come out here, I get treated like, you know, I'm awesome and shit. Like, you know, I don't feel like that special as a person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like the way you talk to me. I'm always happy to be on.
Well, I like the way you talk to me, bud, and I will say that if anybody out there has a show and you're talking down to your guests or not making them feel special, or you're doing it wrong.
I've been on a couple podcasts where I was like, I'm mad I came on this podcast.
Yeah, see, that's my biggest fear. Like, if anybody ever came on my show and felt that way, like, not only I feel like I failed them, myself, and my audience. Like, it's the trifecta of failure, and I don't. That's like my worst fear.
Yeah, like if it's a podcast you ever see me retweet, then it's probably cool. But like, yeah, if there's podcasts that you've seen me on and I don't ever retweet them and you never see me follow them anymore, then that's
You
probably
like block them.
Yeah, like that means that they probably
Jeff was
suck.
on our show. You're like, no, I wasn't. That's
yeah, like and then look if I follow that person, and if I don't follow them, that means their show sucks.
No, I mean that's the risk. Because
like I can only think of one show that I was on that I did not enjoy, as far as like a dude in comics and stuff like that. And I don't even remember what the name of the show was. I don't remember who put me. I don't even remember any of it. Like it was just like some random person hit me up like, you want to be on our podcast? I don't even know that it ever even got posted. It might have been like a joke or something. I don't even know. It was so bad. It was like one of the worst things I ever experienced as a comic creator. So yeah, but like most of the time I come on shows with guys like you and like, you know, even like Lauren and stuff, like people I know from Twitter and stuff. Like it's rare that I'll go on a show with someone I've never talked to before. And that's usually when shit like that happens.
That's a risk. Because everybody wants exposure, but I've heard those stories a lot, or like where you get Stephen Prince was telling me, the Monster Matador guy. He was like, I went on a new show, man, and they started talking like Comicsgate people, and he was like, he like quit. He just kept like saying like, well, yeah, like Monster Matador is a cool comic, and he was like, I couldn't say anything about what they were talking about because it was just like, he was like, I had to separate myself from it, and he was like, I didn't know if I should just like turn my computer off and leave or like,
disconnect. That's what I thought you were gonna say. You did, honestly, because that was
that's what, like it's like that one video where like everybody's doing the Zoom chat and they all freeze and the boss is like, Jim, I can see the fucking fan.
Yeah, your fan's still moving, bro.
Tim's eating fucking chips. You guys are idiots. Like,
but yeah, for real. No, but like, and even that happens like sometimes, like someone will back you, and you're like, "Hey, thanks for backing you," and stuff like that, and you follow them because they backed you, and then like 10 minutes later, they post some questionable ass shit, and you're like, "Fuck, man!" Like,
just kidding.
Yeah, really, like, man. And then then there's times like people even like, I remember like I don't remember the guy's name anymore, but there was someone that backed me, and I didn't know what they were about and stuff. And they did a video. And they were talking, I guess, about magic powder and like that Ethan Van Scrivener guy, whatever the hell he was making at the time. And I never watched the video, but I was like, yeah, I don't want nothing to do with this. So like that was that, you know what I mean? And I don't know, like, and that person hasn't backed me since. Like it is just one of those things, man. But yeah, I don't even get the whole Comicsgate thing. Like that's like one of those things where it's like, you know, what you just like stuff that people don't like because it sucks and it makes you feel bad. I don't even get the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess like
if you have to put a hashtag to identify who you are, you're an idiot. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
It's an intricate web now because they're trying to like rebrand, and so they're like, no, we're not like all bigots anymore.
We're not all bigots.
Yeah, like there's good people on both sides, and it's just like, ugh, like, but yeah, it's a weird deal, and it's just like, you know, I don't know. I've worked way too hard to get canceled for some stupid shit. And it's not just that. Like, it's pretty easy to not be a bigot.
I don't believe that shit happens. I don't believe that canceling shit even happens because most of these horrible people are on TV every day.
Yeah, they don't go
Twitter
anywhere
every day.
They're still fucking there.
So there's no canceling. You're just gonna get the audience that you like is gonna fuck off, and you're just gonna be stuck with a bunch of assholes.
Some big finger wagging, you know, like and then nothing else.
And then some weirdos are gonna come in and start supporting you that you never asked.
Yeah, right. And then they throw a whole shit ton of money at you, and that's what aggravates me. Is a lot of these people are like, they fucking suck, and they get involved with these like suck groups, and then their Kickstarters fund really fast and generate a lot of money, and it's like, yeah, like, I mean, you know, you can take dirty money if you want to do that, but you know, like, there's integrity is a thing. right? Like it's
Yeah.
and
I mean, it doesn't have to be apparently, but like you're right. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
you could play loosey goosey with your morals, but
It's like how you are, like at night. You know what I mean? Like if you did stuff like that, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night just from like knowing how you feel about like unfollowing a person. You know what I mean? Like certain people have no problem with that, and they can do whatever and sleep at night. They can screw over everybody, and these people are probably the aliens we were talking about earlier. Because like if you don't have any actual emotions about screwing people over, you're a fucked up person. Like I don't know what to tell you. And then not only that, but it's like a lot of these people. Like from what I've seen of certain Comicsgate things or whatever, they're just like straight ripoffs of like Marvel properties and stuff. It's not even like a fun idea or anything. It's like, hey, this is Panther Man. He's different than Black Panther because he's racist or whatever. And it's like, okay, Panther Man, but like, it's super embarrassing.
He's like,
think
if it was like Black Panther, but he's racist.
Yeah, but he hates black people. Like, okay, like what the fuck? Like, yeah,
that's $50,000 on Kickstarter.
Oh, you just don't get it, bro. Like, you go read Marvel, man. You don't get it, man. Like, yeah, bro. All they do is rip off Marvel and then talk about how they hate Marvel. Whatever. Okay, but like, yeah, I mean, come up with an interesting story or something. It's like I said, I don't know. Usually, like, there's not that many indie comics that I personally even identify with. So like, it's hard even like I identify more like even Sarah's saying like with the person than with the actual comics 90% of the time because like I said most human being stuff I'm over it. So like when it's like this is about all my emotions and stuff, I'm like, man, all my emotions are dead already, bro. I don't got any more of that left.
You're like, so, you're like I invented like races of people to inhabit a world.
Yeah, like this, I gave them all my emotions and stuff. Yeah, like, and that's another thing too with like dealing with real life drama. Is like as someone who literally is creating entire worlds of shit, I don't have time for real life crap. Like, leave me alone, man. Like, I just want to eat some good food, get high, and watch some TV in between writing some comic books. That's it. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, that's play my guitar.
That's not a bad way to live, but that needs to be the new love more, hate less, read comics. Get high, eat good food, make good comics.
Yeah, that's it, bro. And like, and just don't post the goddamn, Photoshop file online so they steal it from you again. But like, yeah, make that.
God, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. I worry about that all the time. Like, even like now, like, other social medias come up and people like faking who you are or something like that. And it's like, I don't think I'm there. But who knows? It all takes one bored stalker to pretend they're you to fuck your shit up. Like, it's so weird.
I don't think anyone's buying. I mean, I guess I could be wrong. There could be thousands of people out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that sure will sell. So, I mean, as you know, you sold some. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I've sold a handful, yeah. But
so, if like that site actually has like an audience, maybe they are selling it. If it's just like a fucking shitty site that no one goes to,
I'm hoping that's the case because there's about 12 weird sites selling.
Do the same thing. Yeah, those got to all be some kind of weird thing.
I'm hoping. I don't know. Like it bummed me out at first, but then I was like, and I got the new logo and stuff now. Anyway, I got to make new shirts and shit anyway. And so I got.
Yeah, of course. But those shirts will sell forever. The ones you made, like those are perfect for all Pride Month, everything. Like you can always get those out. Like, and people like them. You see people wearing them at cons and stuff. Like, it's just a bummer that people can just steal your shit, and that's just always been a thing.
Yeah, I never thought I would have had to worry about that. Like, and then it's because a couple of my friends were like, "You didn't copyright it?" I was like, what is copyright?
You're understanding the point of it. Even if you have the copyright, to get it taken down, it's still gonna take like months. Like it's not like they're gonna instantly be like, "Oh, it's copyrighted, and we'll take that down for you."
They're like, "Oh, this white boy from Kansas City's mad at me and talking about lawyers. Like, we better stop everything now."
Exactly. It's a fucking process to get anything taken down. The problem is it went up. Like, damn.
Yeah. But oh well. I mean, like a lot of my buddies have said, they're like, "Hey, you made it." Like, it's when people start trying to steal from you.
Yeah, I see people say that. That means you made it, right? Like, oh my god, man, relax with that. But that's everybody's like, everyone got the same takes. You know what I mean? Like, all right, guys, we know you're programmed to say the same things, but yeah, it's just funny.
It's like that. It's like it's things white people say in a bar, like, "Oh, don't let anyone in here." Like,
yeah, exactly. Hey, yourself, pal. Like, yeah. Oh my god.
Like when I was like sitting at the door checking IDs, and the young college kids would be like, "Here you go, it's fake."
Yeah, and like just saying that alone can get you kicked out. Like, don't.
Yeah, right. I could be like, "Well, bye."
Well, they're good. Boom, fucking rip it up and tell them to get the fuck out of here. Like, that's just funny, man. But yeah, everybody, that's another thing about people. because I guess it's like an awkward situation, so that's how they deal. It's like a defense mechanism. But like, what is with people always trying to be funny? Like most people aren't funny.
Yeah.
Like people who are funny, like that's cool. But there's not that many funny people.
Going to be funny.
Yeah,
That's
and that too. Timing is comedy.
Yeah,
comedy is all time. Like that's the thing. Anything could be funny if you say it at the right time. But these people don't know timing. So that's the thing. Like everybody doesn't have to be funny. Don't try to be funny all the time. If you're not funny, don't be funny. If you don't hear people laughing, you're not funny. So stop trying to be fucking funny. Because like man, it's brutal watching people try to be funny on the internet all the time. Like man, just shut up. Like just stop it. Like it's not funny. Be real. Real's cool. Funny, not so much. I mean, unless you are funny, but you're not. So, just
I blame the like. I feel like I say LOL a lot when I don't know what to say.
Yeah, just like fit in that blank spot.
And I think so many people do that now, and so there's got to be.
So now they think people are laughing out loud.
They're like, oh my god, everybody think I said this, and like 5 people said LOL. They always say LOL no matter what I say.
I'm hilarious. I'm fucking Mitch Hedberg over here. But like, yeah, no, like, no, that's the thing too. They all think they have like these little quick one-liners like Mitch, and like they don't, bro. No, people are funny. Yeah, they're not funny in the way they think they're funny though. They're funny like now where we're laughing at them, not with them. But like, yeah, you're right. They are funny, but not how they mean to be.
Yeah.
But, like,
Well, I don't think we'll ever have another Mitch Hedberg.
No, there ain't gonna be no Mitch, bro. And that's when the sadness began, bro. When Mitch fucking OD'd, that was sad as fuck, man.
Yeah.
I'm still sad. I remember, I think I was listening to Howard Stern when he announced it. And like it was like 6 o'clock in the morning out here, and they're like, "Yeah, Mitch Hedberg died last night." And I was like, "You got it." I still remember where I was sitting, bro.
That was rough news.
Silly is better than funny. Silly is way better than trying to be funny.
Yeah,
because like quirkiness and stuff like that is what human beings are. As far as like actually comedic, they're out there. There's funny people out there.
Yeah. And there's a lot of tryhards out there too.
Yeah, or a lot of people stealing jokes. Don't steal jokes, man. Make your own fucking jokes.
That's also
Yeah, don't steal jokes.
Be yourself. If yourself sucks, work on it so that like being yourself doesn't suck anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not done being you till you die. So there's always time. You know what I mean? Like when people are like, "Oh, can people change?" and stuff like that, you can always change. Will you change? That's up to you. But you always have time until you're done. So,
I used to be a piece of shit.
I still am, bro. I'm always gonna be a piece of shit because like in my mind, I don't want to like ever glorify myself. You know what I mean? I'm just me. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I'm not for anything other than what I care about. So. I don't know. It's one of those things. Figs out of here, man. Thanks for coming and listening for 2 hours of our nonsense. But
it's I've kept you over for over.
Thanks
2
for all
hours,
the retweets and likes and everything else, man. Like all the time. Funny Figs always got my back.
Yeah,
so thank you.
They're good people.
Hell yeah. But yeah, man. Like overall, it's just like it's funny, man. The whole thing, because like even Twitter, like the whole idea, like now on Blue Skies, this is where you're seeing all these people who think they're hilarious, because now they're trying to rebuild that following. So everyone's like, memes and memes and memes. And it's like, bro, what? When I was growing up, there was no such thing as a meme. You know what I mean? They were called jokes, and they were either funny or they weren't fucking funny. Now it's like, man, everything's like a picture that everyone's going to write their own subtitles on. It ain't fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like maybe the first time you see, you laugh once time, maybe it'll be a reference to a TV show you once watched. Like, but I don't know, man. Stand-up comedy in general is pretty dead, too. Like, I'm going to go see Colin Quinn in November. I'm excited about that.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. That's like, I can't even really think of too many other comedians I'd like to see. Like, Bill Burr, I'd probably go see. But his last, like, thing I seen him do that Colorado show, and, like, it wasn't funny. Like, where was the jokes? So, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he's almost like, he's not like Bill Maher yet, but. Like,
but yeah, kind of. Like, you feel like he has to be on, like, a damn soapbox about it. Just tell me some jokes, bro. And his whole thing, like growing up, was always like, I'm never gonna get married. And now he's Mr. Married suck ass dude. Like it is what it is, bro. I never understood people like that who say they're not gonna get married just because they're uncomfortable who they are, knowing full well they want to get married. It's like I grew up with a lot of people like that. Oh, never get married. No, they're like been married 3 times with 4 divorces. I don't know how that works. But yeah, it's just like it's nuts, bro. But like, yeah, people need to just be themselves, take care of themselves, make themselves happy. Like people are not good at these things.
Yeah.
And they're just too busy out there trying to please other people, I guess.
Yeah. When they should just be working on yourself and backing Elf with no name.
Yeah, making their own comic, man. Show me a dope comic. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't even matter what you do in life. Just know what you want to do. Because, like, I know some people, they're, like, old, man. And they don't have any fucking clue what they want in life. Man, that's crazy to me. I know what I want to do my whole life. I've been writing since 3rd grade, probably.
Nice.
So maybe even earlier, like 1st grade. I think Ricky Gutierrez came up with the moldy popcorn in 1st grade, and like I was like, "Yo, let's do the sequel and shit." Like, yeah, man. So like, I think I was probably like 6 years old. I think I started reading at like 4. So I've always been into that. Like, I think I read the Phantom Tollbooth kindergarten, and like that really was like, this is dope. This is hilarious. Like, what the fuck? So that made me want to write, and then whatever, man. Movies, TV, comedy, like Seinfeld, man. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian growing up, and like I said, once Mitch Hedberg died, that pretty much was the end of stand-up for me, man. I'm not really Mitch Hedberg dying. I think Patrice O'Neill and Greg Giraldo dying really was the end of it. But like, yeah, Mitch Hedberg dying was the beginning of the end of it. And like, yeah, man, I really wanted to do stand-up, and then I didn't like any of the people in stand-up anymore. So I was like, why would I do this? And like, and then like, the things that started getting big were like, what's that chick's name? Amy Schumer, like Chuck Schumer's fucking niece or whatever. I'm like,
yeah, I'm not.
That's stand-up comedy, bro. Like, get out of here. Even Kevin Hart. I used to like Kevin Hart. He used to come on Tough Crowd and stuff. But like now, I don't remember last time he made me laugh or anything. Like, to be a famous comedian means to not be funny anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
like even Eddie Murphy was funnier before he got huge. Yeah, exactly.
You're, like it turns into a deal of like marketability and instead of like genuine humor. And I can't blame. I don't know if I would have the strength not to sell out, man. If someone offered me millions of dollars to do something,
give me the money. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
anymore.
like I would probably take the money. I'm not a purist, and I'm a hypocrite sometimes.
As long as I'm not being paid to,
and I'm poor.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like. I literally have nowhere to live. Like that's what it's coming down to. So, yeah, like I just want to have enough money to not have to move every fucking 2 months.
Yeah,
like yeah, man. Like I moved like 8 times and since COVID started, I think. So it's just crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. And like it's just one of those things. But like yeah, as far as selling out goes, like.
And this motherfucker still fulfills on time and ships his comics the right way and uses mailers and does all the shit right. So you people out there that take forever to ship, or you can't fucking put your comic in a Gemini mailer.
Or you did like a Kickstarter campaign and you only had 5 pages done and you never even finished your comic, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like be wary of when you should do a Kickstarter campaign. Because like if you don't have the money to fully fund your own first issue, then you're playing a risky game. I'm not saying you're wrong or whatever, but it's definitely risky. So an artist can drop off your project at any time. And that's the scariest thing about being the writer and not an artist. So guys like Jason out there, like they can do whatever they want, and that's cool. And that's I'm never gonna be that good. I've tried to draw and I suck at it. And like I get like I could do a little Blobby Hill or something. It's gonna take me like 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's not that good. Like it just ain't it. I can't draw action and stuff like that. Like when you see people doing like I said, if you read Berserk and you see the way the sword is cutting through fucking panels and shit, I could never do that in a million years. Even trying to script that is hard. So like working with artists who are better at art than I am at even writing helps. Like sometimes the things Danielle does or Jeff does, like they come up with the ideas that make the panels even better and the page better. It helps my script be better. And it's a big collaboration, comic books. It's super fun. Like I love that part of it. I just because I really don't know what the page is gonna look like when I send it to them. Like I have an idea, and it's always cooler than the idea. So like it's just great, man. Like I love that shit.
It is cool, like to write a page and have it come back and like see it right. Like I finally got to experience that, and I was like, holy shit, I know what all you guys are talking about now. Like it was like, fuck.
You had your first orgasm. Like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Like,
yeah, right. I was like, fucking eyes rolled in the back of my head and shit. Like, holy fuck, I finally did it right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. Like, I finally pleased myself. But like, yeah, man, it's like, it's amazing. Like, it ain't unlike because I finished scripts and stuff, but like, I've never had my screenplays turned into a movie. You know what I mean? So now, like, to finish a script and get it turned into a comic book, it's like, whoa. Even if I was the one that paid for it, whatever. Really, the fans pay for it. So it's like, man, it's so much fun. And like Sarah said, like, yeah, it's just, oof. And like, yeah, the workflow is crazy. Like, as I said, like every artist has a different flow. Every writer has a different flow. So it's cool when it does work out. It's like, even like being in a band, like being in a band was fun as fuck as a kid. And like, I don't even know how it really happened, man. Like we would be there making like songs. Like these are motherfuckers that aren't even talking. We're playing songs. Like it's just crazy how things just go together. Like human beings are meant to collaborate. It's really, teamwork is a big thing.
Social creatures.
Yeah, like super. It's like ants and stuff. Like certain things just have to have a team, and like, man, it's just fun when it works out like that. Like playing sports and stuff, like being like on a basketball team and stuff. Like you learn like how to deal with other people and how to collaborate with different personalities and stuff like that. And like, and I think that does help when it comes to working on things like this or even other jobs. Like say, I'm working at a convention or something, you're working at a booth, just knowing how to talk to somebody to get them to do what you want them to do is tricky, man. And everybody has a different personality, so you can't talk to them all the same way. And like, so I think that's a big thing I have been able to do as a human being is like, I'm good at interacting with every kind of human being, I think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not afraid of like those kinds of things. Like, I don't have a problem with any of that shit. Like, cause like worst case scenario, someone's going to tell me I'm an asshole or tell me to fuck off, or maybe they'll point a gun at me. I don't know. Cause we're in America. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, so far so good. Like no one's tried to kill me yet, so I'm pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good way to stay as well. Like,
Yeah.
be yourself. Try not to make anyone want to kill
Be
you.
yourself, but also know who the fuck is around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be
Oh
up
yeah,
your own ass.
reading the room is a
Yeah.
skill that and self-awareness is a skill that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah, like
Um,
because like something like you
yeah.
go out with people and they embarrass themselves and you
Oh,
by the way
dude,
they act. It's like,
that I don't miss about like the bar life at all. It's like
oh man.
like just dealing with like, oh my god, because I mean people get we all partied hard, man. People get out of control, and it's just like. But you can, and that only goes like so far, right? I was so drunk, and it was like, yeah, but you're still
That's
a
not an
shitty
excuse.
person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, totally.
you're just a shitty person and really drunk. Like,
See, my thing is like when I get drunk, I get like probably happier and stuff like that, but I definitely get like even louder and more talkative and shit. And like as you can tell, I'm already all that. So like, yeah, alcohol is not a good mix, dude. Be yourself, so be yourself. Exactly, especially with alcohol. Yeah,
that should be a shirt too. Oh my god.
Yeah, and even this, like everybody on here drinking their beers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But honestly, I don't even drink that much. Like I'm not a big drinker, especially.
I haven't been drinking. It was getting expensive, and
you were way into it, so I'm glad. Like you're able to control it. Like some people can't stop themselves. Like that's the problem.
That well, if I buy a bottle of something, I drink it. Like if I start drinking, then it's gone. Yeah, and like that's my problem. And then but then yeah, like for a while, dude, I thought I had to do every live stream drunk. Then I realized. I realized I was like, I'm actually a decent host sober as well. Like, you don't have to do that every time. So
yeah, exactly. You don't got to be Johnny Carson. You don't got to get a buzz going every time. But like, yeah, it's not bad though. It's like like when we were gonna do the 420 thing, like we are getting high or something like that. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that makes sense. It's a theme kind of thing, or say like you're doing like maybe a New Year's Eve night, or so everyone's having a drink, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. You don't want to be too honest on stream too. If you're drunk and shit, you say things you don't want to say and stuff like that. Self-control, all that, whatever. But who knows, man? I don't know. I always had fun when you were drunk, and I have fun now when you're sober. I didn't even really think about it. I wasn't even like, oh man, this guy's not drinking, Like I didn't even think about it. But now that you mentioned it, I guess not.
I was drinking the I got the G Fuel. If you want G Fuel, if you'd like to sponsor a YouTube streamer,
come on, baby.
Yeah, I love it.
Buzz sponsored by G Fuel.
Yeah,
presented by Metal Ninja Studio.
$1, less than $1 a serving, ladies and gentlemen, to keep that productivity buzz going.
Boom, baby. That's better than an energy drink or any of that kind of stuff as far as like your teeth and
it actually tastes really good. It's probably killing me. It's probably ruining my insides, but whatever. Helps me stay awake and stay focused.
I'm down. Hell yeah. Like me personally, like before we did this, I took a nap and then I woke up. I was like, fuck. And I took a shower to get ready. And then I got high anyway. So like it didn't even matter. Like either way, I don't ever try to up my energy so much as like take it down. I don't know. I have too much energy, man. I'm pent up. Like especially like, like I said, I've been in the house all these times, stuff like that. Like I've been lifting, like I got all my weights here in the garage and stuff. So I actually get to work out now. And it's the most I've worked out since I started having seizures 10 years ago. So that's good. Like, getting the pump going, but overall it's like, but like outside of that, like, I bought a basketball hoop a while ago and it got ruined and I can't even go out hoop. It's too hot anyway. Bowling, I tried to go bowling. I told you the other day, all the lanes were taken up, man. And it's like, I'm one of these people, I got all this, like, I want to fucking play sports and stuff. No one ever wants to play. Like, it just sucks, man. So like, yeah, man, I'm just always waiting for somewhere to put the energy. And it's just, there's nowhere. Like video games ain't gonna do it. That ain't it. I ain't getting my energy out on a video game. Like I need to go out and fucking bang into a person and shit. Like that's what does it for me. Like physical contact with somebody I'm against. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about loving contact. I'm talking about the opposite of that. Like, I have that in me. So like, yeah, it's just tough sometimes. So like, yeah, I have it all just built up, bro. I'm raging.
I'm kind of mad. I wish I could have seen this.
I can show my feet right now, but I don't think that's a good idea. I thought about it for a second there. I was like, nah.
I always think about it because I always make jokes about. I've talked about starting an OnlyFans where I just like eat hot dogs naked.
Yo, I bet you'd make money, dog. Who knows how much?
I know that's what sucks. But then you gotta live. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You gotta live with the fact that those videos.
You gotta live with that, or you gotta live with the fact where it's like only 5 people subscribe.
Oh, that too. And that's probably. I mean, you gotta think it's pretty niche. But as long as those 5 people are paying, like who cares?
That's true. Like
If I had
how much
one
money?
person that was like a whale that just backed my comic, like that would pay for all my comics. That's cool. I mean, I definitely want readers, but like the most important thing is funding, and then you find the readers afterwards. You know what I mean? Like the way Kickstarter works is like you got to find them both together, which is tricky, but luckily it's been working. But yeah, man, I'm not opposed to anything really. Like I had to work AVN in January, and you got to meet a lot of the girls and stuff like that, and like even some of the guys and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. Like I never like thought less of people because they do porn and stuff like that. But I know like that's how people look at it and stuff. And it's like and even like who knows how they'll feel about it in 10 years and things like that. But most part, I just think who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like life's too short, stuff like that. And if you can make money doing something like that, it's better than making money doing a lot of other things. So it is what it is.
No, that's like I spent several years working for people that didn't give a fuck about me. But like it's more of the like I said, like if you launch an OnlyFans, like no one subscribes or like no one, and then
there's always, I mean, but that's true. Like, but that's also, the audience building aspect. You know what I mean? You can't expect to come in and have an audience. You got to build it. So like, you know, it's all about time and finding that, what forum, likes naked Blake eating a hot dog, and then you go there. You know what I'm saying? Like, not every forum's for that. So like, it's all that kind of thing. But then there's certain people that have a look that is more mainstream, and that's gonna make more money and stuff like that. Not everybody has that, so you can't compare yourself to other people really ever. But especially when it comes to the start of a company compared to where they're at 6 years in or something like, you know what I mean? Like that's why I think even with my comics and stuff, I don't compare myself to anybody. I try not to. I try, maybe sometimes look at what they're funding with and try to like keep my numbers, reasonable, stuff like that. But I'm never like, oh man, this guy's got 600 backers, I suck, or this guy's got 40 backers, he sucks. You know what I mean? Like it's just that they don't have an audience, or like I said, a lot of comics aren't mainstream, and sometimes your prices are fucked up, or sometimes you didn't even explain what you're doing right. Like there's so many things that go into it, like that you can improve on every single time. Or you could just not I feel like I'm doing the opposite of improving with this Kickstarter campaign, because like right now, like I said, I've barely done any damn podcasts. Obviously the whole social media landscape is a joke. And then like even like the graphic design stuff, like Raven hasn't had a lot of free time to do that kind of stuff. So I haven't really had all that kind of additions and stuff. So it's one of those things. But I got cocky and I was like, we're gonna make this happen either way. So whatever.
Well, I mean, it's gonna happen. I know it might be moving a little slower than you thought, but I mean, you're almost there. You're less than $1,000 to go. You got 11 days to go. Like you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. I mean, people always say like if you can hit 50% before halfway done, you should be good.
Yeah, that's that Kevin Joseph Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly. KJ. Yeah, I love Kevin Joseph. That's the guy I still follow. In case you're wondering if I was talking about that podcast, but
they're not. They're quitting.
That's the thing. It's a lot of work, bro. It's a lot of work. And that's the thing. And that's another one I rely on. Like I love them and Cody and like but that's life. And so that's another part of the comic and indie game or any independent thing is like. People can only support it for so long, or they only have so much time in a day. Like these are guys who have families and stuff like that, and like they've gone a long way, and they're making comics at the same time and everything else. And it's like, nah, man, I'm just glad that I got to be a part of that, and that they're part of my shit. Like Kevin just back to Elf with No Name the other day and stuff. Like it's really cool, but like I totally get it. Like I would do a podcast and have people on if I had better setup and stuff like that, like a little bit more consistent lifestyle. Because man, like people need somewhere to go, and like I would like to provide that for them too, but like luckily you exist, and there's a few others out there who are just holding it down for the rest of us, man, because it ain't easy.
Trying it's I don't even know what I would do if I did. Like I feel like I would get for like a week I would be like, this is amazing, and then after that I'd get really fucking bored, right?
That's what happens. Like, that's how I am. I need
like, what do I do now? Like what do I do?
I love doing stuff like
it was just like I've loved explain yourself for a long time. So when I saw they're handing, and I like Benjamin Morris, who they're handing it off to.
That's who's doing it. That's cool. Yeah, Benjamin's cool. Yeah.
So the show's in good hands. It's just there's so many Friday nights I spent with Kevin and Will, man, just like learning about new creators and new projects, and it's just it's gonna be a bummer that I mean they're still gonna be doing shows for their own work and. That's being cool. Guests on people, but it's I was like, man, it's the end of an era. It's crazy.
That's cool that they're giving it to somebody or whatever. I wouldn't even have thought of that. So that's fun.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Benden's
they're
cool.
they're passing the torch. It's really all. It sounds like it's mostly Kevin's fault because Kevin's got this new puppy that wakes him up really early in the morning, and so he can't. He's like the late night show and the puppy getting him up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and then his daughter started high school and like
Yeah,
big
he's got a
family
lot
thing.
going on, bro.
Yeah, and so like
And it's like there's nothing you
yeah,
can do to. I mean, you could just fight through it, I guess, but it ain't worth it if you're not enjoying
yeah,
it.
he's like I love doing this, but he's losing a lot of sleep sometimes, so I get it.
Nah, yeah, and and
But
the
no,
thing is,
they did it for a couple years and made comics better, and that's all.
oh
I
yeah, they
mean,
do. Even
or
I met a
like
lot of people through them too. Like, yeah,
yeah,
they were
tons of
cool.
people. I
Yeah, hell yeah.
stole my live stream idea from them, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, like
exactly.
they were doing it before I was. I was like, oh, this could be. I was just like, everybody wanted to come on the podcast all the time, and I was like, how do I help out more people in a shorter amount of time? And I was like, oh, you have like like a panel and like do that, and and then that's how all that started
Yeah, exactly. And I mean that that's the thing. Like they're a big inspiration in a lot of ways. Even Tart. How many issues did Kevin get into Tart? It's like over 20 issues, right? Like it's up there, man.
It's like it's close, yeah, 20 or 21 now, maybe.
Yeah,
It's
and so it's
close.
like to me as someone who wants to get that far, like I don't know a lot of people that have gotten that far. So like it's a good to see that it's possible, like I love it and like yeah, man, it's just inspiring. Like I love Kevin and Will's cool and like yeah, man, it just sucks. But like yeah, just that kind of stuff. It's like how do you find more podcasts to do? And then like that thing you posted earlier about how like people are like it's not even worth going on these podcasts because they have no following or
Yeah,
whatever.
like
And
fuck.
it's like, first of all, whoever said that, that's their business, whatever. Because they've already stolen all the followings from the podcast they've done. You know what I mean? So like they're like, oh, I don't want to do that podcast again because I already stole all their fucking viewers and shit.
Yeah.
Like people are fucking the worst. But the thing is too, like last time I was on here, it's not the same people that were watching. You know what I mean? Like there's new people watching. They
Yeah.
don't, so whatever. Everyone thinks they're bigger than this, bigger than that. Or not everyone, but the people that talk that kind of shit, And it's just like, me personally, like I said, if one person reads my thing a day, that's crazy. Like to have hundreds of readers now. Like a few years ago, I didn't have 100-something people reading my shit. Like maybe if I was doing like a website or something like that, you'd have people reading your articles at that kind of number. But that ain't the same kind of connection. Like this kind of stuff where someone's like hitting you up about things you actually created is just there's nothing like it, man. And I think I've sold over 1,000 copies of issue 1 now. And like that's
awesome.
crazy. Yeah, like I don't know the numbers exactly, but it's nuts, whatever it is. And it's like
I know you've moved a lot of issues, like because your campaigns do pretty well, and you keep things at a lower price point too. So like when you generate a larger amount of money, you're generating a lot of backers and stuff too. Sarah says, "Line up podcast was Blake and Geekly." Yeah,
probably right.
I gotta get Sarah a link. I'm trying to book the show. This big guy for someone I work for, and they keep being like, "Oh yeah, I'll pick a date," and it doesn't happen, and we're running out of time, and so like I'm scared to schedule
push
things with
it.
other people, and because I was like, I could
you can't
fill up if I wanted to, and then I can't get him on. So yeah, I'm having that kind of a fun deal. But yes, I'm stoked to have Sarah, and if it's just Sarah, that's cool. If it's Sarah and the team, it'd be great. Stoked to
Allison's
talk
always
more
cool.
about
Like
Glitch.
that's
Allison's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, I'm excited to have them back on, and I'm glad they're back doing more issues. They're good people.
Yeah, and even then, like Sarah was cool, and like when their comic came out, first issue was free even while you could back it. So like talking about people who give away the first issue for free, like Sarah knows what's up. So like yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's all about keeping it going. Like because like I said, like everybody in the community cares somewhat about comics. So like if you can get them to care about your comic, then they get other people to care about your comic. Like for instance, like Estrella Sadie on Twitter, she won the first ever giveaway I did for Magic Powder, and it turned out she lived in England, right? So I didn't know that when I was doing it, and so I had no idea what it was going to be like to ship a comic to England because this was the first time I ever did that. It ended up costing some money or whatever, blah blah blah. But like she ended up becoming like the biggest supporter of Magic Powder because she won that. You know what I mean? Like she gets extra copies. She goes to like the pub in England and starts handing them out to motherfuckers. Like it's crazy. Like yeah, like I'm big in England compared to other places just because of her. Like it's just awesome. So like Yeah, and even that's just because I mistake, like, you know, she won the damn giveaway. It happened to be in England. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it was. And like, now it's like, and I think like, you know, now Dan Membiala is setting up like an anthology and stuff, and like, so she's gonna do the art, and I'm gonna do the script for one of those. That's gonna be next year and stuff. So
Nice.
that'll be the first anthology I ever do, and like even that, like, it's cool that like that she'll be the artist and stuff like that after, you know, all the support she's given me and things. So it's just, yeah, it's just gonna be fun and like see how it goes. I'm excited about that. I don't know if that's even been announced yet, so you know, it might be top secret. Yeah, I'm out here putting out the word, you know. But
Nice. Yeah, I can't. Well, there's nothing really to talk about yet. But someone came and asked if I wanted to be in another anthology, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, shit, is this gonna start happening now? And then I was like, but what scares me is like, I know what you guys pay for art and stuff, and I just don't like, I can't do that right
yeah, me
now. Like,
neither.
I don't have
Yeah.
it.
No, and then with this one, it was like Dan came to everybody, I guess, and was like, you know, everyone will get. I think he's the one paying. I don't even know exactly how it works,
Nice.
but basically, you know, everyone gets to split $500 or something like that for like 5 pages, or so it's not like a big money thing or anything. But I think it's like mostly people who are just down to just, you know, work on a little comic. It's like a comic jam almost, but yeah. So I mean, whatever. I don't know how we're gonna split it or whatever the hell, but. Or maybe it's not a 500. Yeah, I don't remember. But like I said, I'm just, you know, like you said, sometimes you get asked for these things and they're like, do you want to find an artist and stuff like that? And I'm like, no, not really. It's a lot of work, you know what I mean? But he hooked me up. He's like, he's just signing up teams, you know what I mean? So that was who he lined me up with.
Yeah, that shit is awesome. When they're just like, yeah, give me a script, I'll take care of everything.
Yeah.
It's like,
if everybody wants to do that. Yeah, just anyone wants to hit, that's the kind of shit I'm into, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I don't have extra money to be throwing at other comics. And if I did, I already have the plans for those comics. So yeah. As far as like, I have time to write a comic and stuff like that, but you know, so I'm always down. Like if artists are out there and have, you know, want to do some shit, hit me up. But and like, you know, yeah, because I mean,
you need someone to just lay there while you do all the work.
But no, for real, but I also prove it on Kickstarter. Got that going for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's the one thing I can say. Yeah, so like people will read what I write, so I got that going for me. Yeah. But like, yeah, you know, like I said, the next thing is either like get a Twitch channel going, get like a YouTube channel going, you know, because people love the video, they love seeing your face, they love hearing you talk, so you got to do that kind of stuff, and you know, so that's the next thing for me is like setting up a better format to share, because like you said, Twitter ain't gonna be there like it was anyway. So
yeah, I've been curious about Twitch. I also want to set up a studio. Like I have like a studio. Well, I have a pretend studio and I have a nice setup, but it could look cooler. Like what you see behind me. Like I could, like when you see like professional streamers and like
you see
the
cool
background's a little
shit.
blurred and there's like colorful lights and shit. And
yeah, no doubt.
Somehow like I'm straight, but my picture behind me's crooked right now. I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird.
How that's even working, but you know, it's just and I have like some cool original art I need to get framed and stuff. So yeah, like I want to start working on a studio that's like not in an air conditioned garage. It's like, but I mean that's also long term stuff too, and I do this every week, right? So that's like little stuff. But yeah, I mean like once you get like an okay setup, and then it really does. It's just kind of fucking addictive. Like really, I mean.
Yeah, you can't stop at that point. You're like, ooh, I want to do another. Because like when I did my first Kickstarter campaign, I had my computer all set up and I bought a stream deck and all that stuff, and I actually streamed on Twitch and everything and playing video games. Like, so I was like, we were streaming for stretch goals or whatever, you know what I mean? And we were actually doing it. And then like I didn't live in that place much longer after that, and so like that was the end of that. And I haven't really been able to get set up since. But it was fun, man. Yeah, and like I had made all my little audio things, like, you know, Bobby Hill and all that stuff, like, you know, or De Niro and Copland was like, you blew it, you know what I mean? So like stuff like that. And like, you know, it was fun making all the audio clips and shit. And I still have them all, but yeah, man, I just haven't really been able to set up like that. So like eventually I want to be able to do that. I think, you know, it's one of those things, like as long as I can get an audience of like 500 to 1,000 people, I can make comic books forever. Theoretically, you know what I mean? And if it keeps growing, it keeps growing. Like I don't really need more than 500 people to buy my comic for it to go to a next comic.
Yeah.
So that's not that much, and I've already gotten to 300 a bunch of times. So like, yeah, man, I just got to get there, and like that's it. Keep it going, and hopefully they like what keeps coming. Because that's the thing. If people get sick of it, that's different. So you always got to keep them wanting more.
I don't think like that. I can't see getting sick of it.
I mean, if people ain't sick of fucking Superman, they ain't gonna get sick of me. That's how I feel.
Right, exactly.
But yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Jeff,
that's it.
I've kept you for almost 3 hours. Crazy enough.
I feel like I kept you, but yeah, no doubt.
Well, so I don't. Well, we've had what's well. Thank you to the live viewers. There's like people have been here like the whole time, which that's fucking metal.
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
like I've had like big guests on where it's like I don't know. It's so I don't understand metrics. Like you have like the new Daredevil writer on, and like three people are watching and drop in and out, and then like I don't know, like what the they just don't. I don't know. Like there's that indie magic. I think that
Yeah,
that people like.
magic is definitely the key word. But yeah, no
That
doubt
is true.
about it.
Yeah.
But
Speaking
yeah,
of like magic powder, but for real, like everybody, I first of all, you need to go back Elf with No Name so that Jeff needs to know that this is going to make it so that he can keep putting out these issues because I'm really stoked to see what he's doing with the spinoff. And I think I want to encourage him to do even more spinoffs and just forever dive deeper into this crazy world he's made.
I've got
It's really
so
impressive.
many things I could do too. Like yeah,
I
and then
bet.
yeah,
I
I
can't
got
even
plans
imagine.
to. I want to do actually like a TTRPG, like a tabletop. So like yeah, hopefully we can start developing that and stuff because I think that's another way to expand the audience. Because
Yeah.
like I said, me and Chris are probably gonna make the Magic Powder video game, which will expand the audience, and then also like a Magic Powder TTRPG that'll expand the audience. You know what I mean? Like I just want to get as big as I can with Magic Powder. Like I don't even care about making other things, even though I have a ton of other plans. Like you said, like a bowling plan. Like I have an idea for a comic basically that's like it's a post-apocalyptic sports comic. Okay, I can't go in any more than that because it would ruin. Like someone's gonna jack me. You know, I ain't gonna get jacked. But yeah, like the idea is gonna be awesome. And then it's like while I was bowling, I came up with how the bowling fit into it. Like because originally, like it was gonna be sports, but like I didn't know exactly which way and stuff like that. No, I'm gonna make my own system, bro. Like Ignacio, I'm gonna
Damn.
make my own system, my boy. I don't want to do like a Dungeons and Dragons 5e or any of that crap. I'm gonna make my own thing, bro. Like Shadow runs out there. There's gonna be magic powder out there. That's how it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's a lot of work. It's gonna take a while to make it, but it'll be worth it. I gotta start playing more TTRPGs myself and stuff like that. But yeah,
I want to, but I can't get any of
yeah.
my friends to do it.
It's hard, man. It's hard. And not only that, like as a storyteller and stuff like that, like it almost I don't know, like I'd probably be better as like the actual DM, GM kind of guy than the actual player. So I don't really
Yeah.
I'm not a big improv guy. Oh, I mean I guess I kinda I don't know. I just really want to try. I've always been a board game person. I've never even gotten to try a TTRPG, so I don't want to make one until I play one. So that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in a position to make a game if I don't really understand how they work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so that's
Well, apparently you need to talk to Ignacio. He's sounds excited about
yeah, and
this.
Ignacio is definitely someone I know gets work done, so that's someone I will talk
He
to about
gets
it.
so much work done. It's crazy. He's busy all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to like I mean he drew my little bee guy that's in the new logo and everything.
Oh, that's
Like,
awesome. That's dope.
so yeah, it's he's good people. Well, Jeff wrote. We talked about. I know we said you're still on Twitter and stuff, but like where are you doing a newsletter or anything yet?
Yeah, I've got a newsletter. You can just go to getmagicpowder.com and you can sign up there. There's a couple of prompts like where you can just put your email in. So getmagicpowder.com. Also, I'm on Blue Skies as a Jeff Schiller. Instagram, same thing. But yeah, I'm just same old, Twitter and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not hard
Nice.
to
Yeah,
find.
that's good. That mailing list I think is an important thing. More people should. I probably
Yeah.
need one.
I'm
but
up to like 400 people on the mailing list.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's because like after every Kickstarter, I ask people if they want to be on the mailing list.
Oh, you update the list, yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
import them. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So I've been using what's it called? Something Weber or something like because I tried to use Mailchimp and they said I was against their terms of service or some crap. So I went to this other one. It's called like A Weber or something like that.
I use Sender because it's cheap as fuck.
Yeah, the one I'm using is still free. I think until I go over 500 emails.
Yeah.
So I think we're good. Let me look at what the name of the company is. No, apparently I deleted all my damn emails like an idiot. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, the newsletter thing helps a lot. It's still not like out of 400 people, as you can see, I'm only at 152 backers. So it doesn't translate obviously 100% or anything. But I'm gonna send out another newsletter tomorrow. Hopefully, get at least another 4 or 5 backers off of that. And just keep going.
Nice.
Man. So if we hit 200 backers, we'll be fine. I think that's what we need. 200 backers.
Yeah.
So 50 more to go, basically, and we'll be good. So and that's a lot for a first issue, I think. So I'm happy.
Yeah, and again, like I can't recommend Jeff and both Magic Powder and this new Elf with No Name. If you're new to all of it, I'm sure you can get back issues.
Yeah,
There's
add-ons are
trades,
there.
first
Yep.
three issues. You get some
Yep.
add-ons, you get some cool stuff. I put the link in the chat earlier, so you guys can, if you're wherever you're watching this, it's also in the YouTube info. You can click the link, go check out Jeff's campaign. Get magicpowder.com, sign up for that mailing list to keep track of him. Yeah, follow him on places. He's a fun good dude. He's worth keeping track of, and he's telling cool stories. Like that's uh, in today's day and age with all the weird shit going on. He's not about the drama, and he's making good comics. I mean, what more can you ask for, right? That's I feel that's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, follow me if you
Regards
want
to
to know when my comics are coming out and what TV shows I'm rewatching.
yeah, and he watch. He has
You know,
good. He has good taste in TV shows and shit too.
yeah, I mean, I try to, put out when I'm reading and stuff like that. Just anything I'm consuming, you try to put it out, for content. Because, like,
Yeah,
instead of, like,
all
real life shit, like, oh, my life is
all
successful.
content. It's
Yeah,
all content all the
all
time.
content, bro. All the time. It's sad, but it's true. Like, because you are
Yeah.
the product, so you have to say,
Yeah,
you have to
like
stay
how
relevant. You have to stay alive. You have to do all that crap.
yeah. How can I make my everydayness sound cool enough to get people into it?
And that's the thing. I don't even try to like glorify it or anything like that. I'm sitting here rewatching Lost, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to eat this goddamn sushi I ordered, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really like I'm over here like, hey, I'm at the beach in my bikini or anything like that. Like, I'm not like trying to, present something that ain't happening. I'm just like, hey, I'm watching TV. Does anyone have like a comment on this show I'm watching? Like, I'm hoping when I post something, like people are like, oh, I love that episode, or like that kind of stuff. Like, I'm definitely looking for someone to engage with what I'm saying. But to me, it's like I'm just basically wanting to have a conversation about Lost or fucking The Wire or whatever, Like, I remember, like, I read the Wire book and I kept posting all this like crazy shit I was reading in the book that I didn't know about, and like certain people would react to it. It was cool, but like, the thing is, like, I'm talking about shows from 20 years ago, so it's not exactly popping. Like if I bring up Uncle Baby Billy or some Righteous Gemstones or like some more relevant, like people will get a little bit more into it. But I don't care. I'm just into what I'm into. Like, I can't help it.
Hey man, that's why I love you. You always do you. That's all you can ask for. But like I said, everybody, we've almost chatted for 3 hours tonight. We still got people in the chat. Like, thank you all so much for commenting, for hanging out with us all night. Like, that's very cool. I really appreciate you. Jeff, you got anything else you want to shout out, or I'm gonna set you free and play the music?
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. Thanks everybody. That's about it, man. Go watch the Giants, and that's it. I'll put my hat back on. Let's go.
I've already decided I gotta get one of these fucking hats.
You got it, baby.
Everybody love more, hate less, read comics. And of those comics, they should be Magic Powder and Elf with No Name. Seriously, check it out. Very cool stuff. It's worth your time, worth your money. Jeff, man, best of luck. Great to have you back on. It was awesome catching up. Thanks for the laughs. And good luck for the rest of the campaign, bud.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Blake, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, everybody, for just being here with us and listening to all my nonsense. And a tip of hat to y'all.
Tip of the hat. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you later this week.
It's Blake's Buzz Live.